What's the worst thing you've ever done on the podcast? Not in life. You can't say that stuff.
What's the worst thing you've ever done
the worst
in your life?
Oh, that's a long list. Worst thing I've said?
Just, said, done.
Well, I can't say it again.
I guess. I was just going to bring up that time that I farted in your face.
Oh, yeah, that was off camera, though.
It was off camera. I got up on the chair and I put my ass in his face and just ripped.
Oh.
I wasn't even thinking about him. I'm just like, this would sound funny. I wonder what the mic will sound like picking up a fart. And it's just, Mike was here, his face was there, my ass was here.
I did throw something at the camera, I forget, and it almost knocked it over.
That's not bad. I mean, the camera's fine. It was a Lincoln log.
Oh, yeah. Maybe every name I come up with.
Those are atrocities to human ears.
Maybe every quote I pick at the end.
The worst thing you did was the Independence Day, I might say. That quote.
What was the quote?
You remember the president's speech
in
Independence Day? Every podcast, we end the podcast with him quoting someone. He gets really close to the mic, and then he'll whisper a quote. He decided for this one, he would just scream the quote. And the mic was right against it. You could hear all this, It's horrible.
I think the worst thing I've ever done on this podcast was my Harrison Ford impression from last episode.
That was really solid. I think you did a good job.
My Trump impersonation was god-awful.
It was really unfair because he just kept giving you British guys except for Trump.
I wasn't even paying attention to that. I didn't notice that I did that. The second you asked that question, you're like, are they all British? I looked at the next two and I'm like, oh, fuck, they're all British.
Well, so, too, because he had Batman and
Christian Bale's
and Trump.
British, though.
Well, Christian Bale, yeah.
IRL. He's British.
IRL.
Anyway, welcome for real this time.
Yes.
Welcome to the Gropozy Podcast, episode 50.
Now, can you put in, some graphic here where you're like, episode 50, and it's, zooming in with all the colors,
I'll do that for the
fireworks.
YTP.
Because you remember in the Funhouse episode with Joel where they kept doing Joke of the Week? It's like, Joke of the Week! Joke of the Week! And they just kept cutting to each other doing weird stuff.
No.
Oh, that was great.
I do remember every time they play a game and they're like, oh, stunt jump! And they'll just do it.
Oh, sweet stunt jump.
It's some Tony Hawk 1990s fucking thing.
Well, and then there was another one where it was like, here's a sweet game tip. It's like... But they do it 50 times. So it's like, hey, here's a game tip.
They always do these really 90s, really...
Those guys are great. Yeah, they're totally our friends, by the way. Go subscribe to those guys. We love them. We just had lunch with them today.
Yeah. No, fuck them. Yeah. Subscribe to us.
Yeah, subscribe to, just subscribe to both of us.
You know what's great about Gropozy? It's an original word.
That's true.
They took two words that already existed. I mean, misspelled one, too.
Ooh.
But it does look like the Pornhub logo.
That's true.
Now, how would I know that? I don't know. Just, a
friend told me.
Just kind of came to me.
Let's do names. Let's do names.
How we name them?
I think it should be Pornhub.
I got a name for you.
Well, he's got a name for me, so I'll be Pornhub.
Am I you porn?
No.
And then you can be Big Black Sluts or something.
I was just going to name you Pocket Pussy.
Pocket Pussy?
Because you're sure.
Oh, yeah, my little Koopo.
It's pretty dead on.
You shut the fuck up about my Koopo, okay?
Sorry, man.
I need a good name for you. Episode 50, big deal.
Pornhub, Pocket Pussy, and...
Fred.
Fred? Keith.
Or
Keith.
E.D. Johnson.
E.D. Johnson?
Have you heard those commercials?
I think so, yeah.
E.D. Johnson.
They're really dumb. So there's a cheering crowd, and it's like, okay, stepping up to the plate next is E.D. Johnson. He's been having a couple stints. He's been having some trouble at the plate lately. Really hard to get it up, because erectile dysfunction. E.D. Johnson. It's like he's had some really great things pitched at him. He just can't seem to hit it out of the park. But he recently got back from the men's health clinic. So I'm definitely
retarded.
seeing some renewed confidence as he walks up to the plate, and here's the pitch. Nice.
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 That's how the conversation goes. They just cut to Michael Rosen's giant bug eyes going, nice.
Nice.
So after that story, I have a better name for you than Keith.
Uh-huh.
Erectile destruction.
Ooh.
Oh, I actually like that.
Erectile destruction.
That'll be my supervillain name.
Oh, so we all go together. You have the pocket pussy, erectile destruction,
and Pornhub.
and Pornhub.
It's
Yeah.
like the 3 sticks of fire, like the 3 things you need:
Yeah.
fire, oxygen, an igniter, and God.
God.
We're the trifecta
Yeah.
of a perfect jerk.
You could say we're the Triforce.
Yes, Illuminati confirmed. We were both doing vaginas.
You're like, Illuminati confirmed. I'm the only one like this.
Pussy is Illuminati.
I want to know what is the deal with like all the different singers doing that?
What's
symbol
the
with their-
deal with all the... I don't know.
No, I totally forgot what to say. It's not this. It's not just a triangle.
like-
yeah, what is?
Yeah.
Yeah. What is? What
It's
does
the
that mean?
Illuminati. I don't know.
Like they can't honestly be like
It's
I'm gonna
publicity
make
is
people
what it
think
is.
I'm in the Illuminati.
Well, I know that that was their dog, Bruce. He just opened the door.
that was Keith.
That was Keith.
Keith?
So I know, if you remember, this is going way back to the 90s.
When the Illuminati was formed.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So did you ever watch wrestling in the 90s?
A little bit.
You ever watch-
Parents didn't like me watching it, so no.
Yeah, mine either. But when I did get to watch, I always watched WCW over WWF. And then they had like Sting and Goldberg and stuff. And then I know that they had a guy named DDP, Diamond Dallas Page, and that's what his thing was. It was called the Diamond Cutter. So when he'd come out, he'd go like,
And
That-
that's the Diamond Cutter.
yeah. His name was Diamond Dallas Page. And this was like one of his moves was the Diamond Cutter.
So One Direction's a big fan of WWE or WCW.
Yeah.
Oh.
Makes sense now.
Yeah, so now all those people like Beyonce and Kanye, when they do that, they're just like, hey, DDP.
Well, that's the thing. When I saw that, it's
DDP
like
confirmed.
Jay-Z does this all the time. He does it in music videos. He does it. People are taking pictures like, hey, Jay-Z, and I'll just be like that. And I'm like, oh, so it's like a Jay-Z thing. And then randomly, I saw it in the One Direction video, and I'm like, they're doing it like blatantly. They're not like,
That's not my phone.
I think I set an alarm. They do that. They're not hiding it like, we're hiding. I should get that.
You had to mention Jay-Z, huh?
Now he's calling like, I'm shutting this podcast down.
You and your 9 subscribers can go fuck yourself.
Beyonce and I are worth $1 billion. Alone, I'm $2 million, but she's the rest. Hang on one sec. Where is my phone?
So you
It's,
seen any good movies lately?
No, I'm too poor to go see movies. So.
Me too, yeah.
I rewatched The Burbs recently.
Yeah?
Still funny.
You know what I rewatched recently that was still funny?
Huh.
Twin Peaks.
Twin Peaks?
You ever watch Twin Peaks?
TV show.
I haven't seen
Yeah.
it.
It's a good,
movie.
Oh.
it's a good TV show.
A television series?
Yep.
I don't watch many of those.
Yeah, it was good.
Huh?
No, what else was good?
What?
Arrested Development.
Yeah?
That was good.
I still don't think I've seen
Yeah.
that.
You know what I still haven't seen
They're
that
making
everyone
a
else
movie
has
out of
seen?
that, right?
I think they already did.
Oh. Straight to TV?
I don't know.
I don't know.
You know what I still haven't seen, though, that everyone's griping at me about?
Huh.
Breaking Bad.
You haven't seen... You know?
have
Is
all-
it Breaking Bad?
I have all of Breaking Bad on DVD if you want to borrow it.
Well, they're all on Netflix. I just haven't watched them.
Yeah, but I own them.
Well, hop on it. It's good shit.
Yeah, that's what everyone keeps telling me. I just haven't gotten around to watching it yet.
You
They
watch...
tell me the same thing about The Wire, but it looks so lame.
Oh,
I'm
no.
sorry, I'm not on camera right now. Just give me a second.
Everyone says Fringe is good, too, but I haven't had a chance to sit down and watch Fringe
You're
either.
just dumb.
You know what? We've discussed this before. I want to hear your opinion. A movie that I think sucked so bad, but he enjoyed thoroughly.
Furious
Stop bringing
7.
it up!
Snowpiercer.
Snowpiercer, what's that?
It's
It
a,
has Chris Evans.
Oh, is that the one that you told me about where they're like on the train and it's
Yeah.
basically like Hunger Games on a train?
It's not like Hunger Games!
That's how you described it to me. I think I was on one of the... It was like the second time I was on the podcast, and I was like, Snowpiercer, what's that? And you went, it's basically the Hunger Games on a train.
Fuck off.
I'm pretty sure that's exactly what you told me.
It's another book movie where it gives off the same vibe as Hunger Games and the other one where they're in the walls.
Maze Runner?
Yeah.
You forget the title of that every time. Your example, because you always go, it's just like a book movie, like Hunger Games and
the one in the walls.
The one in the walls.
The one in the walls with the shitty robot bug things.
No, I really want you to look through the 4 podcasts that I was on where you explained that to me, because I really think that you explained it exactly as it's just the Hunger Games on a train.
I think you're a fucking liar.
I swear that's how you described it to me.
So
it could have been me describing it that way.
So before we started recording, how much money did you pay him to say that? Don't fucking lie.
All my money?
Well, I still haven't seen it yet, so...
It's good. Don't take his fucking word for it. It's good. Imagine Chris Evans, but instead of being Captain America, he's actually cool.
Oh, okay.
It's pretty cool.
So, no, sorry, I was thinking of a different guy. I was about to say, you mean like the guy from Man from U.N.C.L.E.?
I thought you were going to be like, sorry, I was thinking of anyone other than him.
Sorry, I was thinking of Chris Pine.
Chris Evans is actually
And Chris Pratt.
And Chris Hemsworth.
A
lot of Chris superheroes.
And Chris Christopherson. Lady Destroyer, Christopher Christopherson.
That's and your guy comes out and he goes.
That's kind of an insider thing. I like to create custom wrestlers in the WWE games, and
that's amazing. That's the best feature that game has.
We made Christopher. Well, we didn't make Chris Christopherson. We just made like this weird, clammy monster-looking guy, and we were looking just to have the longest name, and it was. You could have 4 words, so we looked for the longest, and it was Lady Destroyer, Christopher Christopherson.
It's definitely the longest. But what I like is when we're a team, when the weird monster I made and the weird monster you made are a team, it'll take the same length of time to say each other's names. So it'll be like, the team, Lady Destroyer, Christopher Christopherson.
And his teammate...
I forget what the name is. I think it's just
Homeboy.
Yeah, it goes Homeboy.
There's this long pause,
That's
and we're like
looking through papers. Who is this?
We're like walking down to the ring as the vaudevillains.
Oh yeah,
and we have
all slow, like doing that, and someone else is just like fucking spazzing out.
we have the da 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 da.
It looks like someone else took the other dosage of acid that the other one was supposed to take.
Yeah, she's like just running around like that.
Hey man, where's my acid? Is that for both of us?
I just think it's hilarious hearing both of our names. Lady Destroyer, Christopher Christopherson. And sometimes when he comes out, he's like, and his opponent, Homeboy!
I like both of us have it selected so the audience boos. If it's you and me wrestling each other, essentially nobody else wants to be there.
Yeah, everyone just
like,
boos both of us.
Your character looks like he has no eye, when really it's just microscopic and next to his mouth.
Yeah, so...
It's like down here and it's teeny.
So it's like a little mole.
So now the thing is... He has 2 eyes. Maybe I'll just send you like a screenshot of it so you can put like a picture of it in the video podcast so people know what we're talking about.
It's disturbing.
But so he has one clearly defined eye, and he's wearing eye makeup, so there's like an outline for his other eye should be. But it's like way down here, and it's really tiny.
Next to his mouth, it's a dot, like next to his mouth.
It's just really small.
Both of us have horns.
Yeah, we both have horns. I think I have one single one. I haven't played it in a while.
Well, I like when we're wrestling, I come out on the stage wearing a horse mask, and then the wrestling starts, and it's gone, and it's even worse.
Yeah, he comes down with a mask on, and then when he gets in the ring, he takes it off, and he looks even worse.
So you're basically mutated demons fighting each other.
Yeah.
Very much so, but his is like 20 feet tall and mine's as short as they get.
Yeah, I made him as tall as possible, just like 7'6", I think, in the wrestling games, but
It's really funny when we start wrestle and I immediately leave the ring and it makes it look like there's a giant chasing a tiny guy.
Yeah, we're just like running around the ring. And we made them so weak, too, that they run for about 5 seconds and then they're just out of breath.
Yeah, they're absolutely... When we were a team fighting other teams, we got wrecked. Like
it was really tough to beat them. Yeah, we would have to try really, really hard. You'd get hit with a chair once and he'd be down for like 2 minutes.
You gotta take a knee.
Yeah, like he would just be reeling because he hurt so much.
It'd be funny, then they actually get up, and then they're stumbling. They can't even move. Worst characters ever.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
a fun game.
That is a fun game.
I think that character creation should be the same character creation in every single RPG.
Yeah.
Because I played Fallout 4 at your place, too. And after playing the WWE games, it's like, this isn't enough.
You get like 5 different base options.
I need more. You can still make him look effed up, which is hilarious.
Yeah. Especially with like mods.
Oh, have you seen the Thomas the Tank mod that's in Skyrim and also in Fallout 4?
I love
It's hilarious in Skyrim because you'll be running and you know how big those Skyrim world is. It's enormous. And you'll be like on a horse and you'll just hear like woo woo in the distance and you look up and there's just a rectangle flying around in the sky.
What is that?
My favorite is
I
I really like the Macho Man one.
Oh, Randy Savage. Like,
yeah! Just this dragon flies
oh,
over.
yeah! He crashes, it's Randy Savage, but his neck's all long.
Yeah! I think they put him in Fallout too, but they just made him Deathclaw.
Yeah,
instead.
he's Deathclaw burst out of the ground. Oh, yeah!
Those are good.
He's dead.
He's dead now.
Does that make you sad every time you kill Randy Savage in Fallout 4?
No, because he slept with Stephanie McMahon when she was only 17.
I didn't know that.
Yep.
Wow.
You know a lot more about wrestling than I do.
I really liked it as a kid, and I really don't keep up with it nowadays because I fucking hate the PG era.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, John Cena wins! Yay! You can't see me, no place for hate. Knock out all them bullies. And then, there's a WrestleMania and Roman Reigns sucks and all that good stuff.
They have a lot of modern wrestlers that are absolutely horrible.
Yep.
They're just like stupid. Their whole concept is dumb. They came up with that one wrestler that one time who was like an Irish monk. Do you remember that?
I remember the Monk, and his name was the Monk. Wow. And his finishing move was he did that and he just sat on someone. And
yeah, that was him.
Yeah, the Monk. He walked around, he took a vow of silence.
Yep.
And he walked around and he had a notepad on his chest and he would draw how he was feeling with a smiley face. So he would draw like a smiley face and just lift it up to show everybody. So when he got mad when someone was trash talking him, he'd draw one with like angry eyebrows and just lift it up.
Well, I even remember like everyone at this point understands that wrestling is fake.
Yeah.
And it's just like, oh yeah, it's fake, but it's entertaining.
Yeah.
But I remember a point where it was like sort of older, like the Randy Savage days where people would argue like, no, it's not fake. Don't say it's fake.
Yeah.
It's real.
Yeah.
It's absolutely real. Every hit is real.
Yeah.
You gotta miss boxing. I feel like that's just
boxing is
died.
So boring now.
That's what UFC is now, and UFC is starting to become all dramatized and shit now.
Yeah.
I mean, so you heard about how they were going to let Brock Lesnar fight in the UFC again, right?
No.
Well, they're not now. Because he failed a drug test.
Oh.
So now, all of the UFC fighters are just ripping on him. They're like, you're a fake fighter, go back to WWE, they're like, you don't have any fucking talent. And I'm one of the few people that doesn't like Brock Lesnar.
Very few.
I really don't like Brock Lesnar. In interviews, like, most wrestlers are, like, passionate about it, you know, where they're like, it's my life, I love doing it.
Except the Monk.
Except the Monk, because he took a vow of silence. So you're just
How do you feel about wrestling?
Smiley face. But
that's good to hear.
But Brock Lesnar, they asked him, they're like, hey, so wow, what did you feel like about that match and everything? And he's like, oh, I got paid for it.
Wow.
Like, he literally gets his money and he leaves, and like most of the locker room hates him and everything because he just because it's just a job. Like he was on. Have you listened to Steve Austin's podcast, the Stone Cold Podcast?
No.
Oh, it's really
Steve Austin has a podcast.
Yeah, it's called the Stone Cold Podcast.
That's amazing. We gotta find that one.
It's really, really good. I recommend you listen to it. But there's an episode where he has Brock Lesnar on there, and they're talking. He's like, "Hey, you and I, we still gotta go hunting and everything. We gotta get back out there in them woods. When are we gonna do that?" And when you first hear Brock Lesnar talk, it doesn't fit him at all. He's this huge guy, and he's like, so, what'd you feel about WrestleMania the other day? And he's like, I'll be honest with you. It just sounds like
I got paid.
Yeah, but then they asked him, he's like, so, when Vince McMahon comes out and he's talking about, it's not wrestling, it's sports entertainment. Well, I was a wrestler. I don't do sports entertainment. What do you think about that? And he's
I got paid.
Yeah, that's basically all he says. He's like, it's just a job to me. And he's like, so what do you like most about the industry? He's like, I don't fucking care about the industry. I
like the money.
He's just so, yeah. That's pretty much all he says is, I just like to get paid and then I go home. That's it.
To each their own. So the last job I worked that I was recently fired from, we would do conference calls. We would do conference calls all the time, and this one guy stepped in because the district manager wasn't there that weekend. So this one guy steps in, and he decides to end the conference call on a more chipper note than the other guy usually does, and he sort of ends it going, so, what does everyone here enjoy the most about their job? What about sales? What do you enjoy the most? And before every conference call would start, I'd turn it on, and I'd hit the mute button. So it would be muted on my end, so anything I say, they wouldn't hear it. And I guess I didn't hit it, because he's like, what does everyone enjoy most about the job? And sarcastically I go, the money. and then I hear, okay, so money, there's that, but does anyone else, and I look at the phone and I'm just like,
the money.
I just liked that there were over 50 people on that conference call that all heard the money.
So let's go back to this. You were fired?
Yeah, more or less.
Wow.
The money. It would have been great if I say that sarcastically. The next thing I hear is, who the fuck said that? Who said that?
Well, I thought that's what you were leading into.
That's no.
Who the fuck said that?
Oh, God.
Try Office.
So I just got Windows 10, just before this podcast.
Why would you do that?
I didn't honestly
That's
need
exactly what I said. He's like, so I just got Windows 10.
So
Why?
Normally, I'm on Windows 8, and this screen would come up, this small screen, that would be like, upgrade to Windows 10, and the first time it came up, I'm like, I do like free. I like free a lot. So I clicked on it, and it'd be like, checking for updates, and it'd do this dot thing back and forth for 5 minutes, and be like, your computer can't be upgraded. And I'm like, well, what the fuck? Why come up then? And then it would just come up all the fucking time, and I would just automatically hit X, and it would take precedence over anything I had open. So if it popped up as I'm typing into something into YouTube, all of a sudden I'd be typing and just be like, dong, 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 and I'd be like, fuck. And I'd have to X that. But this time, something came up that filled the entire screen. It was this giant yellow prompt, and it'd be like, warning, this is your last chance to upgrade to Windows 10. It ends on July 29th, and I'd be like, okay. And it says upgrade and exit, so I'm like, I'll hit upgrade, whatever. And it's just like upgrading, and everything I had open closed. My computer restarted, and now I have Windows 10.
Well, you know what they
all
say.
All your files are deleted.
I haven't checked.
Well, you know what they say. You can't barbecue venison without killing Bambi.
That is what they say.
Yeah.
That's what I said.
Well, I said they.
I want something motivational that's also incredibly dark.
That's it.
Well,
it's basically a rendition of cracking a few eggs, but I'm like, killing Bambi. That's way cooler. That one moment in everyone's childhood.
So let's talk about the Republican National Convention for a sec. Did you watch any of it?
I did. It was disturbing.
Did you see the opening? What they had Donald Trump come out to?
Do you mean Ivanka's speech, or what Donald Trump walked out to?
What he walked out to.
No.
I did miss the first half.
He made two speeches. There were two acceptance speeches. You saw the second one.
So normally the way it works with the RNC and stuff is that they have an opening ceremony, some people talk, and then they nominate whoever. Mm-hmm. He just came out and basically said, I have the nomination, I'm the best, that stuff.
The greatest.
But
great.
It was like a concert. So Queen's We Are the Champions blares really loudly. these bright lights come up from
Turn
behind the
that
stage.
light off!
No, get those lights off. But these bright lights come up from the back. And you see Donald Trump's silhouette walk out behind the lights.
God.
And he turns, and it's just, we are the champions. And he starts walking out. He's like doing his little thing, and he walks out. And a podium and like a microphone rises from the stage.
With steam just shooting out.
Just like...
And then the scorpions burst out of the stage.
Yeah, I thought it was so funny, and this is kind of a joke I stole from Stephen Colbert, because Stephen Colbert said it. He said, what better way to show that Donald Trump won than to have a bisexual man from Britain singing a song about how he wins.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Nice.
Yeah, but it's
pretty ironic. What's most hilarious about that is Stephen Colbert told the joke.
I know.
Yeah.
I really like Stephen Colbert.
I liked his old show when he had a team of writers come up with good content.
Well, they changed it. They made it seem like he was on The Late Show.
Oh.
Or
Tonight Show?
The Tonight Show. Or no. What was his
The
old
afternoon
show
show?
called? What was his old show
It
called?
was called The Colbert Report.
Yeah. They did that for this.
Really?
Because he's like, I'm not powerful enough to take on Trump now. We have to get someone who's more strong. And then it goes like...
Oh, God.
And the whole background changed, and he
Jon
got his
Stewart?
Captain America shield and Jon Stewart, and he like changed his outfit and his hairdo and everything. And he's like, "Hello, nation," you know, like the old Stephen Colbert.
That's pretty funny. A lot of people don't like his new show, but here's the thing. He replaced David Letterman. It's nowhere but up from there.
Yeah. I really don't like David Letterman.
He's a huge prick.
Yeah.
He's a huge asshole.
Well, yeah. I mean, most of them are. Like, I don't think that there will ever be a better night show host than Johnny Carson. And Johnny Carson is like a huge asshole.
Johnny Carson was, when he was a drinker.
He was so
Number one.
funny though. Like he
was
had
really funny.
really good content.
I honestly think Jay Leno would be really cool to hang around with.
Oh yeah, I mean he'd probably just give you a car at the end of the day.
Yeah.
That would be, well, he's not Oprah, but
You
It's
get
like,
a
come
car.
into my garage. Just pick one.
Yeah. I got plenty of them. Just pick one.
yeah, just pick any of them.
Yeah, you want B?
Not that one.
Not that
Or
one.
that one.
Don't pick that one. That one had to cut them paint job. Don't pick that one. Not that one. You can't pick that one. You know, just let's leave.
Let's just
Forget
go.
it. Forget it.
Let's just go. You want out, you're welcome.
He's fucking funny. He did a show once where he was like a guest on a show, some like driving thing,
Yeah.
and he put this literally one of a kind Japanese engine 8-cylinder that was like custom made for it's like a 70s Toronado, and he put it in there, and he like made the fastest Toronado in history.
Mm-hmm.
Like he like broke records just because he's like, hey, I have the money, it'll be fun.
It'll be fun.
And he like drove it around the track. Like, this guy has the most awesome life ever. He's doing it right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's so many millionaires that just go to like shitty parties and
We'll
like
get
just do
another
nothing.
Bugatti.
I'll get another one. Another one.
And
Another one.
Another one. I hate that guy too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
DJ Khalid or whatever his name is.
Oh, is that his name?
I think so.
That's the only thing I know about him is that another one thing.
Another one.
I just know people turned it into a meme and like vined a bunch of funny jokes of it.
Yeah.
That's the only reference I know of him. I haven't seen him anywhere
Well,
else.
he does like some stupid... He was on like a kid's show, I think, and it was really, really dumb because the guy can barely even talk.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like he's just... You know what I'm saying? Like he's one of those
Oh.
guys. And he was on, I think, Stephen Colbert. He was either on Stephen Colbert or Conan, or maybe Jimmy Fallon, but he was talking with him and he kept saying, know what I'm saying, like every 10, 15 seconds. And it just got to the point where the whole audience was laughing every time he said it. So he said it and he's the host, I don't remember who it was, but he's like, no, I don't know what you're saying.
I really don't.
I really don't know what you're saying. But there's a speech or like a motivational speech that he gave and he's like, you smart. We the best.
What the fuck?
Like that. That was it.
I feel bad for whatever college nominated him as like a motivational speaker to come like, oh, yeah, DJ Khalid, and he comes up and he's just like,
You smart.
you smart.
We the best.
We the best.
Yeah.
Best.
Looks at his hand. Did you see that? I saw a funny video where it's Kanye on Ellen. It's on Ellen's show. And it's just, the text in the video says, this is Ellen trying to keep it together. And it's just, Kanye goes like, Steve Jobs is dead. Walt Disney is dead. Name somebody that's alive. I made more, and he's just talking, and then it cuts to Ellen, and it's slowly panning into her face, and slowly cutting to black and white as it plays, hello, darkness, my old friend. And she's just like, the look on her face, she's like, just nodding, and like, you can just hear him in the background just ranting.
Oh, God.
He is insane.
Well, you know,
He's
he said he
absolutely
was,
insane.
you know, he said he was going to run for president, too.
Depending on who
In
wins...
2020.
Depending on who wins this year, 4 years from now, I might end up voting for Kanye West.
I mean,
Yeah.
you've seen Idiocracy, right?
Yeah.
That's exactly where we're heading.
We're gonna
What
get
was
a
the
wrestler.
president's name in that?
It was like,
Camacho, Herbert, Mountain Dew, something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
President Camacho!
yeah. That's the road that we're heading now.
Let's get you sworn in. Here, Scro, have yourself a beer. Calls him Scro.
That's
Give me
where
a
we're
beer.
going.
Get you one too.
Yeah. That actor's fucking hilarious.
All-time wrestling champion and porn star.
And porn star. You know what's absolutely fucking funny? Craig Robinson is in Mr. Robot.
Yeah.
Do you watch Mr. Robot? You don't have cable, do you?
No.
Yeah, it is on Netflix, but you can only watch season 1 because of how Netflix works. And season 2 for Mr. Robot just premiered. They're on episode 3 now.
Yep.
That's got to be like the best TV show on television right now at
Yeah.
this
Really?
moment. That's only
really
because
good.
Game of Thrones is in between seasons right now. But Mr. Robot is fucking phenomenal. It's
in the north.
You know nothing, Jon Snow.
You are not a spaceman.
You're no spaceman. But yeah, Mr. Robot's amazing, and it was like a shock for both of us. We're watching episode 1, and Craig Robinson walks into the shot, and we're like, "Is that fucking Hot Tub Time Machine in Mr. Robot?" And it's just Mr. Robot's like such a serious show, and then Craig Robinson walks into the shot and sits down, and we're like, "What the fuck? Are we still watching the same show?"
Is this a hallucination? Is this a dream
It's
sequence?
just very bizarre. It'd be like out of nowhere, Louis C.K. walks onto Game of Thrones set, like as a character. It was weird. Craig Robinson's like a major character in Mr.
And
Robot right
he has
now.
serious lines in it too.
He does.
But anything he says, I have a grin on my face because it's Craig Robinson.
Like there was that really like sad scene where he's talking to no one, and I'm just kind of like, "There's nobody there," and it was actually a really sad scene, but you're just like, "Lol, Craig Robinson."
Did you ever watch that miniseries with Will Ferrell in it, where it was like it was like a crime miniseries or something, and he was like,
That was Woody Harrelson. That was True Detective.
no, it wasn't. It was not True Detective.
No,
I don't remember what it was called. It had like some blonde chick, I think, and Will Ferrell, and it was about like someone got hit by a car. I don't know. I never watched the show, only the preview, but yeah, like he was doing serious acting in it, and it's just weird seeing someone who's like specifically
Will
known,
Ferrell?
like Will Ferrell, trying to do like serious acting.
Was he good?
I don't know. I never watched it.
I really have no idea. I can't even think of what you're talking about. Let me bring up on-screen keyboard.
We have the internet. I can just
But
look it up on my phone.
you know what I did see today with my dad earlier was the new Star Trek.
Oh, Beyond?
Star Trek Beyond.
How was that?
That looked awful. How was it?
In my opinion, it's the best one in the series.
Really?
Better than Wrath of Khan, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
It was. I just like Ghostbusters. I wanted to go in hating it because every time I saw, like a preview for it, it just
Did they play the Rihanna song in the movie?
no.
She wrote a song specifically for it, and they play it in all the trailers.
No.
And it's fucking Rihanna, so it doesn't match at all.
No.
It's
They didn't.
I couldn't believe they did it. Like they start playing this song, and I'm like, this trailer looks neat, and then Rihanna's just and I'm like,
No.
The
No,
fuck
that
is
wasn't
that?
in the movie at all.
have you
That
seen
shit-
like the ads?
No.
They're like the non-skip ads, so they're like 6 seconds long. And here's the whole ad. It's Rihanna sitting in a chair with a blank background. She's like, it's just like, once you become a Star Trek fan, you're set for life. And then she grabs her shirt, it's a Star Trek shirt, and she goes, holla.
Oh, I have seen that.
That's the whole ad, and I'm just like, I really don't ever want to see this movie.
Yeah.
I will say go see it because it is very good. There was one part, it was supposed to be like a big climactic part. That was the one part where I'm like, this is fucking dumb.
Really?
Yeah. Like, do you think you're going to see it, like, in theaters at all?
Probably. And honestly, any movie where Idris Elba's the villain sounds like an amazing movie.
He did a really good job. He did do a really good job.
I still need to see The Jungle Book. I haven't seen that yet.
Oh, that was really good.
Was it?
Yeah.
That's one of the movies that I avoided every single one of the trailers to.
Yeah.
All I know is, like, the info that I hear about from, like, the internet. And
yeah.
It sounded good.
It was good. Well, do you want to tell you about the really lame part?
In Star Trek?
Yeah.
I don't know, can you talk about that?
Well, I mean...
Is it spoiler-worthy?
Everyone has a different idea of what they define as a spoiler.
It's spoiled a major thing from Ghostbusters last podcast.
Well, like I said, it was in there for 30 seconds. Like, it's not a major plot.
And honestly, when you said that, as you say that, in my mind, I'm like, that's a spoiler. But it is a really shitty movie, so I don't care.
No, it was 30 seconds, and they don't bring it up for the rest of the movie. It's not really a plot thing. But Star Trek, I guess, is a little different. So, yeah, I should probably hold off on this. But there's a moment, and you'll know when you see it. You'll know what I'm talking about. It'll do the lead up, and you're going to go, this is what Gabe was talking about. This is the fucking stupid part.
Was it just sort of a bum, 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 kind of like...
No, it was just like, it was like, how do we fight them? We'll fight them this way. Oh. And then it happens, and you're like, that was fucking dumb. You guys are stupid. But the rest of the movie was really good.
That's good. I thought the last one with Benedict Cumberbatch's Khan in it...
Khan.
That scene was a little lame. It was also not necessary. Like, is inventing a new villain, like, just too risky?
Well, it's like, he could have just gone, like, my name is Khan, you dicks. You know, it's just like,
he's like,
who are
you? Fake name. My real name's Khan. But instead he goes, my real name is...
Khan! Fan service, fan service, fan service.
And everyone in the audience went, I'm leaving.
Goodbye.
No, I'd say if I had to rank all three of them...
what was I going to look up?
I think you were going to look up the Rihanna thing?
No, I don't think so.
For
that. Jungle Book or something?
No.
For that. Who are you?
Where are we?
I don't know.
What are we doing?
I don't know, man.
What's all this smoke?
I think the government's watching us, man.
Oh.
Or...
Vagina confirmed.
Yes.
This does weird... I don't believe in the Illuminati, but I gotta say, this weirds the fuck out of me.
It's probably why he does it.
If there was an explanation where it's all like, oh, you don't know what this means? We actually do this because of blah, blah, blah. I'd be like, oh, I thought it was Illuminati.
He probably just does that because it gets him in the press.
Publicity.
Yeah.
Illuminati confirmed.
I don't remember what you were going to look up.
I don't know how to spell. Illuminati song.
The Illuminati. You know what has been making a trend on Vine lately is putting robot crabs over rap songs.
Robot crabs?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, ravioli, ravioli, give me the formuoli. The formuoli.
I don't know what's actually going to come up because I'm in Google Images right now and I just looked up robot crabs.
I mean, you heard what Hillary said about Pokemon Go, right?
Pokemon, go to the polls!
Woo!
I'm hip. Hello, my fellow kids.
How you do, fellow kids? Ravioli, ravioli, give me the formuoli.
That's enough of that.
Vine is a terrible, terrible thing.
Vine's seriously addictive.
Yeah.
You can spend hours on Vine.
Yeah.
It's nothing but 6-second videos and you're like, I need more.
Of course, they're trying a thing now where you can, like, add, I think videos up to, like, 10 minutes long.
That's like, you remember on YouTube where YouTube standard was 10 minutes long only, and you needed like special permissions for like 2-hour shit?
Yep.
They just did away with that.
I know.
You can upload, fucking Sitting and Smiling uploads a 4-hour video every goddamn day. Have you seen this guy?
No.
He fucking sits in front of a camera and
smiles
for 4 hours.
Wow.
And it's a really uncomfortable sit too. He's like kneeling on a hardwood floor.
It's not. He's doing the backwards crisscross applesauce thing.
Oh my god, his smile is so disturbing too.
And he makes money off of that.
He gets tens of thousands of views per video.
What's up with that?
I think he's a genius. I think he figured out like we upload hour-long podcasts, people will start a podcast and be like, "Well, I got things to do. I have to end it." But then there's like the fucking 10-hour-long He-Man, hey, yeah thing. And people will be like, it's a badge of honor if I watch the whole 10 hours. So then they watch the whole 10 hours. And Sitting and Smiling be like, people will think it's a badge of honor if they watch, and they do. Because time watched is how ad revenue works on YouTube. So he's making fucking a shitload of money by sitting and smiling for 4 hours a day.
Well, you should do one called like Standing Angrily.
My girlfriend recommended the same thing. She's like, do standing and frowning.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's brilliant.
Yeah, jump on that. That's trademarked by Gropozy. 2016, all rights reserved.
Oh my god.
I can't stand for 4 hours due to my scoliosis.
Well, sit then.
Alright.
Sit like this fucking weirdo. This guy's so fucking weird. Oh, he blinked! Yeah, that's him. He just sits and smiles like that. Like, we're looking
how
at
a guy almost robbed his house when he was doing that.
Episode 5 is the biggest episode. He has over 200 episodes of him doing this. Episode 5 is hands down the biggest, because like 30 minutes in, someone breaks the lock on his door and breaks into his house. He does nothing! He sits and smiles staring at the camera, and someone opens the door slightly, and they see him, and they see his setup, and they go, "Hello?" And he doesn't do anything, and then they close the door and leave.
That has to be scripted.
Everyone says the same thing. Now, it's actually really hard to hear any words from this guy, but he actually did say on Facebook that wasn't scripted. Someone made an attempt to break into my house.
And I did nothing about it.
When you see the other shit that this guy does, you'll believe it, because he'll go to big, like, artsy events, like really liberal artsy events.
He looks like someone who would do that.
And he did a thing once where he stood in front of a mic for hours, and he did say a few things. It wasn't sitting and smiling necessarily, but he had a huge audience of people like sitting crisscross, like taking in the vibe.
Oh.
And every now and then, he said something that I thought for sure was leading up into a speech. He goes, "Well, it looks clearly like I have everyone's attention, that all minds are focusing on my words." And then after that, he was silent for 15 minutes. And I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with this guy?
This guy's a fucking moron.
He's a genius, though. He makes so much money from these videos, and all he does is sit and smile. Now, here's the thing. The one where someone breaks into his house, there's also a fly that lands on him. Like, on his forehead. It crawls around on his forehead, and he doesn't fucking flinch. Same fucking episode as this. There's a centipede that crawls up his body and goes into his shirt pocket, and for the rest of the video, it doesn't come out. There's a centipede in his shirt the whole video.
You know, this has to be scripted. There has to be someone there, like, doing these things with him. Benjamin Barnett? Or Benjamin Bennett?
I think that's who it is. Yeah.
It is really creepy, though.
Look at all of his fucking faces.
His channel art is fucking amazing.
What if he's discovering that for 4 hours a day, sitting and smiling will cause major health problems?
I bet it will.
It's the key to immortality.
Yeah.
I'm just waiting until there's like 20 in a row that just say watched. From your history.
Yeah, let me see. The screen's so small over here. Number 1 has 170,000 views. Number 2 has 10,000 views. Number 3 has 4,000 views. 7,000 views. Where's the one? Oh yeah, I guess it's number 5, which has 608,000 views, because that's the one where someone breaks into his house. That has the most views because that's literally the most eventful thing that happens out of 200 fucking videos of him sitting there.
But you know, he doesn't make too much money off that because people comment, hey, skip to here if you want to see it. So they just skip to it, watch it, and then they close out.
I'm sure he's making an okay amount of money.
Oh, I'm sure he is. Look at where he's living.
Well, you think that people wouldn't, like, watch it anymore, but look, like, 200 later, he still has more than 20,000 people watching.
Do you think your Benjamin could do a ferret video where it's, like, sitting and smiling and it's just a ferret sitting there?
It won't stay still, so...
You know...
Unless it's dead and stuck.
You know what? You should put a tiny GoPro on the ferret and just let it...
Is there one small enough?
Oh, there's gotta be.
It'd be so big, he'd be like hanging on the side, like
dragging.
There's that guy who uploads videos. They're nothing but 360 videos of a 360 camera he attached to a dog vest on his dog.
Huh.
And it's just him walking his dog.
That's
and
cool.
You're just like in the dog's perspective.
That's cool.
It's actually really cool.
And then a centipede crawled into the dog's pocket and didn't move.
Stayed there the whole video.
I'm seeing a lot of people like redoing 360 videos where it's like a fixed area. So like a couple Funhouse videos, for example, they're like Lawrence's crotch cam, and it's the 360 view, but they just focused it right on there for the whole video. So everyone's like talking and everything, and it's just sitting right there for the entire video.
I notice people love to do that with 360 videos where they're just like, the most interesting part of the video is over here. Anyone who watches any other part is wrong.
Well, and then like the funny part is like, I think there's hot Elise thighs on the 361 where it's just, Elise is like wearing shorts and it's just like focused.
That'd be great if they do motion tracking, like on her knee as she crosses her leg and puts it down. The camera light is moving with
It's moving with her knee. Oh, I know that guy. That's Ty Lopez.
Ty Lopez.
I fucking hate that guy.
Here in my garage.
Here in my garage. Just bought 4 new bookshelves. But you know what I really like?
We've been watching all the YouTube poops of him.
Oh.
And it's hilarious. He's just like, here in my garage. He's like, but you know what I like more than knowledge? Is this new Lamborghini right here.
Yeah, this
I had to have
Lamborghini right
4
here.
new Hollywood Hills installed to drive my 47 new Lamborghinis around.
Which I keep in my Lamborghini account.
He's like, I didn't always used to be successful. I used to live in a little Lamborghini with only a small bookshelf to sleep on.
I fucking hate Ty Lopez.
His YouTube poops are the greatest thing ever.
He was in a really good Vine, though, where it was like a rap song where they said, driving around in my Lamborghini something, and it's like driving around in my, and it cuts to him, he's like Lamborghini GS3 or something, but he's like, they green screened him into the Lamborghini. Yeah.
He's like, the second I started seeing ads for him, I'm all like, this is going to be the most frustrating thing ever.
Here in my garage.
Here in my garage.
I think that video is called Here in My Garage.
It is. It's here. But then, like, people fucking made YouTube poops of him, and I realized he was a blessing.
Oh, man.
They're so funny.
He literally has zero creativity. I watched a YouTube poop for him, and it's the one where he's showing off his house. He's all like, so, you know, people always ask me to do, like, a crib-style show of my house.
That's when you bring up the comments where it's like, you're a fag, get off YouTube.
But, like...
So I decided...
The ad for the YouTube poop was that same as the Ty Lopez video.
Yeah.
Here's the fucking thing. The YouTube poop started, and I'm like, is he wearing a different shirt? He literally recorded the same video twice with the exact same lines.
And
every
different
it's,
shirt.
It's like a different time of day slightly, and I'm just like, why do these videos seem slightly different, aside from the one being a YouTube poop? And I pulled them up side by side, and I'm like, why did he do this? What the fuck is wrong with him?
Oh, God.
I like
Is his ego that big?
Yeah.
I like how that mansion isn't his. People
No.
found it. It's a rentable mansion.
Yeah, you rent it. It's basically like rich people rent it to throw like parties and shit. And he's showing it off, saying it's his real house.
Mm.
He's a liar.
This is here in my mansion with my Lamborghini.
Here in my Lamborghini, got a new mansion here.
Got my garage.
Got my new garage.
Here in my
Another garage
Lamborghini.
installed.
Got my new garage
at
installed
this
to
list.
hold my 4 new bookshelves.
We have some new bananas over here. You know, I used to be a fish. I wasn't a really good fish.
This is where I keep my fish.
This is where I keep my fish. I have 47 new fish.
I watched an episode, or it was just like an interview with him. It was a real interview. And I got through, it was like, I think maybe 15, 16 minutes long. I got through about 2 minutes, and I went, this guy's such a fucking moron. I can't keep watching it. He's like, you know, a lot of people, he always says that. A lot of people ask me, blah, blah, blah.
Nobody's asking
you that. But it's like, how are you so successful? How do you make all this money?
And I tell him,
it's knowledge.
Amen.
I read at least one book every day. It's like, you know,
when we were
shut
little,
the
we
fuck
used to
up.
have these little storybooks that were small and had like 5 pages. Do those count?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a book.
90%.
Duck Got home, everyone.
90% picture. It's like an incomplete sentence on each page.
Like the hungry
And
caterpillar.
The first page is, and then you flip it. The duck got home. Good book, everyone.
Woo!
This is a really good book. Another good book. This is a really good book. Oh, did you see, so Comic-Con's happening right now.
Uh-huh.
That's noteworthy. All that means is new trailers for shit. I think people have realized that that's all that means.
Yep.
But, Adult Swim released an unfinished clip of the next season of Rick and Morty.
Oh.
And it's unfinished because it's not fully animated. It's sort of like a storyboarded script. I have no fucking clue what's happening. It's Rick, but he's like a potato, kind of. It's his face like on a potato, and he has cockroach arms and cockroach antennas, and he's like sawing this bar off, and he's like, come on, and then his cockroach arm falls off, and he's like, damn it, and he puts it back on, and then a giant rat comes in the bars and is trying to eat him. He's like, you big dumb rat son of a bitch. That's it, just a little closer, and he grabs a razor blade. He's like apparently really tiny, grabs a razor blade, and he cuts the rat's head off. And then there's this machine that disconnects all the cockroach parts and puts all the rat parts on him. And then a bunch of rats break through the bars, and he's like karate fighting all the rats as like a rat cyborg monster, and he's just like decapitating them and shooting nails into them and ripping them in half. And then it just ends.
Damn it, Morty, I can't keep doing this by myself. I need your help.
That show is great, but I'm watching this going, what the fuck is happening? He's like a little potato thing.
Well, I guess he got out of the prison.
He's fighting rats or something.
And he turned into a cockroach.
Cockroach potato rat.
Cockroach potato rat.
I couldn't understand what was happening. That's a great show.
If you take any clip, I think, just like a 30-second clip from any episode, you'd have no clue.
Oh boy, can do!
Oh, can do!
Ooh-wee!
Ooh-wee! I'm Mr. Meeseeks, look at me!
Have you seen the Meeseeks doll that they sell?
No.
You can actually buy some of the Meeseeks dolls, and some of them are actually missing arms on purpose with like a little stuffing coming out. Some of them like look all angry, and some have like the orange patch of hair, and some don't. It's so weird. Adult Swim's generally like fucking weird.
Yeah.
This house has people in it.
We brought that up. Have you seen that?
Which one?
This house has people in it. Holy shit! We're gonna watch that after the podcast.
Unedited footage of a bear.
Unedited footage of a bear is easier to get through. It's a lot shorter.
Is that the one where like have you seen the Adult Swim cartoon where like the dog is just killing everybody?
Yeah.
What is that?
There's no premise to it. That's really it. There's like a crazy mutated redneck town.
Oh.
And the dog like is
So Squidbillies?
Kinda. The animation is slightly better.
Is Metalocalypse still on?
No.
I used to really love that show.
Metalocalypse was good, and then they got like too deep with it. They started realizing people care about the plot, so the writers started giving a shit, and then it stopped getting good.
Yeah.
I hope Rick and Morty doesn't go down the same path, because
Yeah,
it has a huge fan following.
It really, I mean, did you
It
play
got big
Pocket
quick.
Mortys?
No, it looks so fun.
It's
though.
Pokemon.
You should download it. Is it free?
Yeah.
I think I did download it.
Did you play it?
At some point, I forget.
You psycho.
There's
You
like
should-
all.
I ran out of space and I deleted a lot of apps.
You do have Pokemon Go now. You need all that space
Yeah.
for your Pokemans.
Yeah, there's. I've been playing Pokemon Go a lot too.
Last night when we were walking the dogs, there were 2 people playing Pokemon Go in the park. And
It's like 1 in the morning.
It was 1 in the morning, and
I know.
One was wearing a Pikachu hat, and I just come up and I'm like, "You playing the Pokemans?" And they're like, "You know it, man." I'm like, "There's an Agumon down by the school."
An Agumon.
And the guy goes, "Oh, cool, right on." And I hear him, he leans towards his friends, I'm like, "I have no idea what that means."
It's called Digimon, you uneducated fuck!
I have Digimon Go!
I have Digigo. It's way better.
Digigo, yeah.
It's basically Pokemon Go, but better in every way.
What's your strongest Pokemon that you have right now?
Yeah, what is it?
Pikachu, because it's the only one I have.
Oh man, I have like 55.
I actually...
It's the deal where I heard the rumor, if you have your starter Pokemon, and then you walk away in
they'll follow you for a bit.
Yeah,
but then Pikachu will pop
then
up.
Pikachu, so I'm like, okay, I'll have just Pikachu be my first, and then I just stopped.
But you forgot about it, right? Like, you had Pokemon Go on, and you forgot it was on your phone, and you're walking, and you go, "Oh, Pikachu."
Like, oh yeah, I got Pikachu. And then it wouldn't let me name myself.
Oh, yeah.
Even the most abstract names.
You need some crazy shit. I like you screenshotted you catching Pikachu, and it was so dark out. It's just a black void with Pikachu.
Yeah. And my battery's down to lowest thing.
The AR on Pokemon
Yeah.
is cool, but I mean, it drains your battery fucking hardcore. Like, I don't even use it. I just have the AR turned off, so it just brings up a generic background.
Well, you
like
use
the
an iPhone,
planes.
though, right?
Yeah.
Their batteries just drain
Yeah.
really quickly.
Yeah.
There it is.
It's like CP?
What is this?
I'm gonna grab my phone real fast, actually. Or I guess you can. I mean, you can just go grab it.
Go ahead.
Or not.
Oh my.
Have you seen stuff for Detective Pikachu?
Yes, Detective Pikachu looks awesome.
It does. It has a really dark story behind it.
Did you see the trailer for Detective Pikachu where they have a guy doing the voiceover?
It's easy to smile when you think it's retarded. Oh yeah, for the audio listeners, I just emulated sitting and smiling.
Good job.
The audio listeners are like, did it pause? It's really quiet.
See, look, I own City Star Brewing in Berthoud with my Arcanine.
Nice.
No.
What are you a part of one of those 3 teams?
Yeah, I'm Team Valor. That's the best one.
Is it the red
Enemy.
one?
I don't know.
Yeah. See, look at my
Oh.
Arcanine.
I only understand the 3 teams through memes that I saw. Team Valor is essentially a bunch of nut jobs who are addicted to this game.
Well, I wouldn't say that.
Well, of course not. You're Team Valor.
Yeah.
Then the blue team is kind of like their competition. They're like the bad guys, basically. And they're trying really hard to overthrow Team Valor. And then there's fucking yellow team, who does nothing.
They're Team Instinct.
Instinct.
Yeah, so it's Team Valor, which is red, Team Mystic, which is blue. Although I thought it was purple. It honestly looks purple. And then there's Team Instinct, which is yellow.
Nobody gives a shit about
No one gives a
Yellow
shit
team.
about Yellow Team. It's
How did
just,
that happen?
Hufflepuff.
Did the game decide that? Did it be like, you're really dedicated to Team Valor? Or did just people playing enough decide by playing that Team Valor's the best?
I don't know. I think a lot of people... It just comes down to the original generation of Pokemon where it was, red, blue, and then the special Pikachu edition yellow came
That
out.
was a really fun game. That's
Yeah.
the most like Pocket Mortys, just because Pikachu would follow you around.
See, these are all my Pokemans.
Oh wow. I'm loading mine up now.
You hear someone actually caught them all?
They can't. They couldn't.
Every possible one to catch. In North America, someone...
Damn.
Here's the stats. Someone caught 142 Pokemon, which are all the total Pokemon that you're able to catch within North America, which is the only place where this is released right now.
Yeah.
He had caught total, all Pokemon altogether, over 2,800 Pokemon. So app on, he had walked 50 kilometers.
So he did it already?
Yeah. He has 142 Pokemon. The last one he got was Kabutops.
See, look,
which
this
is in
was...
New York, everyone.
See, so I saw an Ammonite.
Or no, Ammonite. Ammonite was the last one he got.
It was the first day that this was out, and I downloaded it. And I was coming into town from work, and I pulled, by the Conoco to get on 4th Street. And an Ammonite pops up, and I'm
Hot tip, everyone.
and I'm like,
Monaco on 4th Street.
I'm like, fucking Ammonite, that's awesome. So it pops up, and I pulled on the side of the road, because I'm like that. and I threw a Pokeball at it because I was only like level 3, so you don't get Great Balls or anything. It's just standard Pokeballs. And I threw it, and it captured it, and it goes down, and it rocks once, it rocks twice. It breaks out, and he runs away.
Oh!
I haven't seen him since. I've only seen it one time.
That was the last Pokemon, the guy who caught them all caught. So that's...
Well, yeah, because that's number 138. So there's 138 available right now.
142. He got 142, this guy.
Well, there's only 138 available.
That's weird.
Is that only in the U.S. or something?
I don't know.
It might be only in the U.S., because this said there's 142 available in North America.
Oh.
So maybe there's like a Rapidash in Mexico. I don't know, man. I keep telling people misinformation. If I see them with their phones out, like just playing Pokemon Go, I'll be like, "Are you playing Pokemon Go?" And they're like, "Yeah." And then I'll tell them wrong information that just has a generic location. I'll be like, "There's a Rapidash in the library." And they'll be like, "Are you serious?" And I'll be like, "Yeah, go see." And I say that like there's dozens of libraries, and I'll be in the library, and I'll just point a direction, and they'll be like, "Really? In the library?" And I'll be like, "Yeah," and then they'll leave.
Oh, I gotta go there now.
Or I'll just pick rare ones. I'll be like, "Hey, do you have Scyther yet?" And they'll be like, "No." I'll be like, "There's a Scyther at the dump."
Yeah.
I'll just be like, "At the dump." And
It's hanging
like,
out at the dump.
And I'll be like, "Which starter Pokemon do you have?" And they'll be Charmander. I'll be like, "Do you have Squirtle yet?" "No, I can't find Squirtle." There's Squirtles everywhere, but you have to go on the lake. And
Well, that is the rule. If you want to catch water Pokemon, go near water.
I saw this woman screenshotted her in the bathtub. There was a horsey in her bathtub. I'm like, how the fuck does that happen?
That's funny.
I like the story of a
What a
girl
story,
finds a
Mark.
dead body in a river
Yeah.
trying to catch water Pokemon.
Yeah, that was my cousin.
Oh, are you fucking serious?
Yeah, her name's Shayla Wiggins.
Are you fucking... She found a dead body?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
There's no relation.
Oh.
We just actually share the same last name.
Oh.
No, her name is Shayla Wiggins.
The question I want is, did she ever get the polygraph?
I don't know.
That'd be funny if she pulls it up and the polygraph is on the dead body and she's like, well, I gotta catch this before I call the police.
Yeah.
She's giving the police report and there was the dead body right there and he was all pale and bloated. It was so disgusting. The cop's like, I understand. So there's a polygraph in the lake? Dude, that polygraph after is in the lake. Oh, thanks, man.
So you heard about the two guys who literally walked off a cliff playing this game, right?
Yep.
They like...
I didn't hear... That's all I heard, though. Are they dead?
No, they're alive. Well, one of them fell
bad.
like... I think one of them fell like 30 feet and the other one fell like 60.
Oh, gosh.
But they walked over the guardrail and they like lifted up the sign so that way like they knew they were passing the areas that said don't pass these areas and they just
But there was a Raticate over there.
They just walked off the edge.
What if they didn't walk off because they were oblivious? Like, oh, playing Pokemon. Whoa! Playing Pokemon. Whoa!
Pokemon,
But what
whoa!
if they were like on the edge and they know they're on the edge, but they're like, that Butterfree's just out there? It's so close.
That could be, actually. That would make sense.
Well, it'd be great if the one guy falls and the other one's like, oh no!
Then he falls on top of him.
Yeah. He's like, I can catch it. My arms are longer.
I can catch them all now.
One of, do you watch the Creatures content at all?
Not really.
They play Pokemon Go like crazy. One of them found a Pikachu in some guy's garage, but the door was closed, so he like held his phone against the garage door, and he was able to get Pikachu and catch him through the door.
The garage
man.
door starts opening. Oh, shit.
Oh, great.
I do love Pokemon Go, but it's like any one of those fads where like it's so big you get tired of hearing about it.
Yeah.
But then it's so fun you can't stop talking about it, and then you just become those people that you get tired of talking about it.
It's just missing a lot of meat right now. Like, in the trailer, they showed some really cool stuff. Now, okay, big shock, the game wasn't like the trailer, right?
Yeah.
But trading is like down to its core, Pokemon is about like trading and battling your friends.
Mm-hmm.
And there's no trading yet. Now, they said they are going to add something in the next few weeks where you can trade Pokemon to each other.
I think there isn't trading in it right now because they had no fucking clue how big it was going to be. They'll be
Yeah.
Niantic's like, yeah, fun little app. You can catch Pokemon, fun, you know.
Yeah.
It'll be okay.
And then they made $15 million in 4 days.
They're like, oh fuck, we got to make this bigger.
Well, and then the other thing is I understand it was part of the original game. Like, you remember playing Red and Blue, you'd be like, there'd be a Zapdos or whatever, and you'd throw Pokeballs. It'd be like, you throw the Pokeball. You missed the Pokemon!
Yeah.
It's like, how the fuck did I miss the Pokemon? But you lose that Pokeball. Okay, so you don't have to pay for Pokeballs in this game. You can just go to Pokestops and, like, you can get...
Oh,
Pokeballs.
is that what that does when you spin the thing?
Yeah. It gives you Pokeballs and potions and whatnot. It just, like, puts stuff out, and then they reset every 5 minutes.
Oh,
Okay.
Yeah, but,
So are there people that stay at Pokestops to get the stuff and then wait there for 5 minutes?
yeah, because you can drop a lure at a Pokestop, and it lures Pokemon in the area, like, to that Pokestop.
Oh.
Yeah.
I've always wondered what that meant, because people will be like, I put a lure on that Pokestop, and they'll be like, what the fuck does that mean?
Yeah, it's
what are
just...
they doing?
It's just like this little chip that you... Well, it's a chip in the game, but you just tap it, and it looks like a bunch of, like, pink blossoms, like, blowing in the wind.
Oh, that's what that fucking
Yeah,
is.
so-
I saw that, and I'm just like, what the fuck's happening on this
Yeah,
game?
so that's just like if you hang out around there, Pokemon are more likely to show up for half an hour.
In the creatures, like, play of Pokemon Go, I don't know any of their names. One of them is like, oh, there's a Pokemon stop over here. I'll go check it out. Oh, it has a lure on it, blah, blah, and he goes and checks it out. And the rest of them are talking, whatever. He comes back, he's all like, so... The Army put the lure on that Pokemon Go, and I was approached by 2 Army recruiters asking if I wanted to join. And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? The Army's doing that? Why does the Army want nerds?
Speaking of that, did you hear what the zoo is doing every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday now?
The Denver Zoo?
Yes.
I don't know, but I did see the creatures just did a Let's Play for Pokemon Go in the Denver Zoo.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh. So what they're doing every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday now is that if you go to the zoo and you show them your Pokédex, it's $5 off your ticket. And, like, every hour they drop lures at Pokestops around the zoo. So, or it might not be every hour, but it might be, like, every 3 hours or something. They drop lures at every Pokestop around the zoo. So people can, like, catch a Pikachu in front of, you know, a buffalo or something,
And
you know?
it looks
Yeah.
cool, yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, it's cool that they're getting involved and doing stuff like that. But
5 people die after trying to catch a Pokemon in the lion's
I
den.
almost have it. Guys, we're jumping in.
we're gonna have to kill another gorilla. Let's go,
Sorry, Harambe. I gotta catch this Butterfree.
my boy. My people are in need of your help.
Create some messed up vines.
I sent that to 4 people. I sent it to you. I sent it to Courtney. I sent it to Dave, and I sent it to my cousin Tyler.
I want to know the different reactions of people.
Oh, I'm sorry. I sent it to 5, and I sent it to my mom.
Oh,
Okay,
no.
so I sent it to you, and you said, that's fucking funny. I sent it to Courtney, and Courtney goes, that's fucking funny. Sent it to Dave, that's fucking funny. My cousin Tyler, LOL. My mom, super inappropriate. Don't send that to anybody. That's really mean.
Don't send that to anyone else, and you're like, everyone else has to see this.
And I said, Mom, I've already sent it to 4 other people, and they all thought it was hilarious. And she's like, that's really bad. Don't send that to anyone. And I was like, Mom, I already did. And she's like, oh, well, what did they say? I was like, Dominic thought it was funny, Courtney thought it was funny, Dave thought it was funny, and Tyler thought it was funny. And she goes, Dominic's your friend, so even if he didn't think it was funny, he'd probably just say it was funny. And
It wasn't appropriate. That's why it was funny.
And then she's like, and you know, of course Courtney's going to agree with you on it. You and Dave have the weird connection, so of course he thought it was funny. And Tyler doesn't even know what that's about. And I was like, Mom, come on. It's really funny, okay?
It's pretty fucking funny. I felt like saying in the text, that's super inappropriate. That's copyright claim. Cyanide and Happiness deserves this. My boy, my people need you.
So, for those of you who don't know the Vine I'm talking about, it's there's a Cyanide and Happiness short where a kid's playing in his room, and this lion comes through the wardrobe, and it's like, my boy, my people are in need of your help. Come with me. And the boy,
kid's all in wonder.
the boy jumps through the bookcase, and these doors to a van close, and it drives away. So the kid just got abducted. In this video, the lion comes through, and it's like a green screen head of a gorilla. And it's like, my boy, my people are in need of your help. Come with me. And he goes, yep. And then it shows...
It just cuts to the whole Harambe accident.
So the gorilla's pulling the kid through the water, and like
Everyone's screaming.
I felt really bad for laughing. It's just the video is so so funny.
That's what's great about Vines, because the humor's so immediate and the cut's so instant. If you think it's funny, even if it was another joke that you would go, that's wrong. Because it's so instant, you can't help but laugh.
Yeah.
Even if it's totally inappropriate, you're just like, oh my god.
I saw a really... There's a lot of racist Vines.
Oh no.
There are a lot of racist Vines. So, you know the DreamWorks opening? That...
Yeah, and there's the kid
There's
on
the
the
kid
moon
with fishing.
Yeah.
So, this one... He was just doing a thing.
I was trying to be Magneto, but then I remembered that I'm not Magneto.
Oh. So there was this really bad Vine, and it shows a watermelon hit the water, and a couple black people come up to it, and pans up, and it's a KKK member holding the fishing pole.
Dun, 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 dun,
It's playing that music. It was really bad.
Oh, God.
Yeah, exactly. It was really, really bad. And then there was another one. I'm sure a lot of people have seen the video of like that Mexican kid saying like, if you have to deport my grandma, you have to deport me too, and I'm an American. And have you seen that?
Yeah.
Did I send you that Vine?
You sent me the one where the kid's talking and the guy goes, no one can fucking understand you.
Yeah, that one. So there's a kid.
I
He's like,
couldn't understand the kid.
he's like, if you want to deport my Antoinita, and it's a KKK member, like, I can't understand you. Go back to your country.
It was from the Dave Chappelle sketch where he's the blind black guy who's in the KKK, and he's just like yelling into the mic a bunch of racist crap.
Oh, there's a lot of really, really racist Vines out there.
Apparently,
Yeah.
Donald Trump actually said racist things in his second speech, the one that you saw.
Yeah.
That one CNN guy was like flipping out about, and he's just like, I was terrified. I was terrified.
Well,
But
you know,
did he actually say racist things?
Yeah, not...
everything that comes out of his mouth is racist.
It's racist, but he almost makes it slightly political, which is weird how he does that.
That's
He'll-
Like what?
He won't say, I hate Muslims, they're all... Well, he will say they're all terrorists. That's probably something he actually said.
Donald J. Trump is calling for a complete shutdown of all incoming Muslims. We're not going to receive them. We're not going to export them. They're just going to completely be cut off.
That's
Signed,
horrible.
Donald J. Trump.
That's horrible. That's the stuff that he was saying.
Yeah.
My favorite part of his speech is when randomly, I don't know what the fuck was happening, and nobody else is talking about it. Halfway through the speech, he starts standing at the side and saying nothing. Like, he says something that to these thousands that are cheering for anything, he says something inspirational, and they're all cheering. He's like, yeah, thank you. Thank you. And then he stands, he does like this profile shot, and people are still cheering, and he comes back and he's like he's gonna talk into the mic, and then he doesn't, and he does the profile shot again. It was like that for 5 fucking minutes of him standing there, like, looking off at nothing, and everyone is just, they're cheering. All you hear is the audience, and he's looking at nothing.
Oh, man.
And I just made the joke, I'm like, this is the shot, he's gonna tell, like, his advisors, this is what's gonna go on the quarter.
Yeah.
It's just like, it's this perfect profile shot. I'm like,
This
what
is the $10 billion bill right here.
It's just, did you see his interview on 60 Minutes?
No.
Where, you know who his vice president is now, right?
I know who it is. I've never fucking heard of the guy.
Mike Pence.
Yeah.
Some guy that no one cares about.
Well, Hillary just picked her VP today as well. Never fucking heard of him either.
Who is he?
It's some senator. I don't fucking remember his name.
Senator
He's-
number 10.
He's that fucking important.
But I thought it was really funny because the person doing the interview, and I think she's been doing the interviews for a while, I can't remember her name, but she goes, so, Mr. Trump, you are not known as being a very humble man. And he immediately goes, actually, I think I am quite humble, and I don't think you have any idea just how humble I really am. That's exactly what he said.
He doesn't even realize the hypocrisy of that.
No,
He's like,
yeah.
You're not very humble, and gears are going in his head. He's like, "Is humble me?"
Yeah, he's like,
"No, I am humble. I'm
He's
the most
like-
humble ever." Fuck you.
well, she was in the middle of talking, and he just cuts her off. He's like, actually, I'm very humble. In fact, I don't think you have any idea how humble I actually am.
I have the most humbles.
I have
more
the
humbles.
most humbles.
I have
Look at all
47
my humbles.
billion humbles
Well,
in my humble account.
And then
Look at all my humbles.
I don't. It was in the same interview. I don't quite remember what the question was, but she asked Mike Pence something, and he was trying to be kind of political about it and just be like, "Well, I think that it should be looked at like." And then Donald Trump cuts him off and goes like, "No. You can say that you don't agree with it. You can say it. It's okay. Just say that you don't agree with it." And he's like, "Well, I don't know if I." He's like, "No. Just say that you don't agree with it." And he's like, I don't agree with it. He's like, "See, that wasn't very hard. See, you could just say whatever."
Fuck?
I don't agree
That's
with
creepy.
it,
Yeah.
Mr. Trump.
He looks down. I guess I don't agree with it.
Well, it's
Pulls
funny,
out
right?
whip.
It's funny, right? Because you know the whole story about why his wife was like plagiarized.
She plagiarized Michelle Obama.
Well, she didn't write that.
No, but
She says that she did, even though they have come out and said she didn't write it. People ask her, and she's like, "Yes, I wrote it." but they've
I wrote it.
But so the guy came out, the guy who wrote it, and he said, "Yes, I plagiarized it, and I did it for a reason." They said, "Why?" And he was like, "The Trump campaign would not let me leave. They would not let me leave. Like I've tried to quit 5 or 6 times, and they wouldn't let me go. So I plagiarized her speech. It is plagiarized completely."
Oh my god, that's horrifying.
And they're still denying it. They're like, no, it was not plagiarized. And the guy's like, "I wrote it. I completely plagiarized off of Michelle Obama."
That's awful. You sent me that line of her.
It's like, "He's never going to give you up. Never going to run you around."
It just got sarcastic. That was great. Hey, did you see the speech that his daughter gave, Ivanka Trump? It was like her intro for him to come out.
No.
It was just she was so robotic, it was so scripted, and just like, it was awkward to watch.
I think if you met her, she'd be one of the nicest people you would ever meet.
And then his father would burst in.
Yeah. Like, I bet his daughter, Ivanka or whatever, she's really, really nice. I bet she's a really good person. And then, like, everyone else in that family.
Oh my god.
I love my father. Yes.
Did you see the Vine where it's like, it's her, and she's like, "I'm proud to introduce Donald Duck." And it's just, he's like, you didn't see that?
No, that's amazing.
She's like, "I'm here today to introduce Donald Duck." Just like that.
She, did you see the video of Donald Trump? It was him and Ivanka sitting together in one interview, and he's like,
I think I know what you mean.
my
too.
daughter's a wonderful person. If I wasn't her father, I'd date her.
Yeah, he's like, chances are, if she wasn't my daughter, I'd be dating her right now.
Who the fuck has ever said that?
Well, you heard about the quote that he said, and this is a direct quote, "I have black guys counting my money. I hate it. The only people I want counting my money are short men who wear yarmulkes all day."
Are you serious?
That is a direct quote.
Oh my god.
That's horrible.
And another direct quote from him. "As I lie there in bed, sleeping next to these some of the most powerful women in the world, I would ask myself, oh, well..."
I don't know it. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, but he's like, can you believe what I'm getting right now?
I forget the quote, but I know what you're talking about. The quote was basically him talking about how he sleeps with loads of women. And how impressed they should all be.
Yeah. Exactly.
It's awful. And then
See, with any other politician, this would be used in an ad against them.
Mm-hmm.
A political ad against them, but it doesn't apply to him for some
There's that
reason.
whole
I just
thing
don't
where
get it.
It was revealed where he was his, media correspondent. He was posing as someone else. Do you remember that?
Mm-mm.
Where there's a phone interview that came out where someone's talking about, Donald Trump's a great guy. He's very successful with women, blah, blah, blah. And they're like, "And what is your name, sir?" He's like, it's like John Miller or something like that. He's like, "My name is John Miller, and it's Donald Trump." It later came out that the only reason we know that it's actually him is he's the one that leaked it. He's the one that leaked this. Like,
Wow.
What the fuck is wrong with him?
His ego spilled out a bit.
Well, there's also that quote about him going to Times Square with a machine gun and shooting a bunch of people, and he's like, "And people would still love me."
Oh, yeah, he
After
says...
he quoted that, I'm like, you're fucking right. That's the only truthful thing you've ever fucking said.
Yeah, he's like, I could go out to 6th Avenue right now and shoot somebody, and it wouldn't affect people voting for me at all.
It wouldn't. That's... The fact that he understands that is not good. Because he might do it.
Yeah.
He's gonna do it.
Yeah, well, he could.
He just did. He's doing it right now.
What I don't like is that, he was selected as the Republican nominee, and technically speaking, Hillary's not the Democratic nominee yet, but, she is. It's Hillary. Yeah, she picked a VP already. Like, the two people running for president for 2016 have both broken the law horrendously. It's not like Hillary shoplifted. No, she kind of traded top secret emails via a personal email, which is a big no-no. Mm-hmm. And then Donald Trump created a fake college, took people's money.
Actually, that is not fake. That is not fake. We're a very prestigious university.
But there's no degrees.
We have all the degrees.
We have
the best degrees.
We have the best degrees.
Trump University has the best degrees, the only degrees.
Both of them have broken the law horrendously. It's like... But the only reason they're not in jail right now is because they're running for presidency.
There's not even any sound on that. Just... I do want to turn up the sound here.
Is that one of those content-aware videos?
I'm trying to find the Donald Duck one, but...
Those content-aware videos are fucking funny, too. I found out the other day the only way to make them is with Photoshop. Because I have Vegas, I don't have Photoshop. I would really want to make them because they're fucking funny.
Do you think that Trump University had Trump steaks in their cafeteria?
Trump steaks aren't sold anymore because they weren't successful.
And they even said, there were researchers who were like, those steaks behind Donald Trump right now, those are not Trump steaks. You saw that, right? Where they had people go through and he's like, here's all my things that I have right now, Trump steaks and everything. They're like, those are not Trump steaks. Those are...
The only place you could buy them was Sharp.
Those are King Supers.
Yeah. I love he has Trump Vodka went under, Trump Magazine went under, Trump Magazine Platinum went under, Trump University, which he's being sued for, and should go to jail for. He stole thousands of dollars from people who were struggling.
Oh, I found it.
Oh.
Here.
Introduced to you today, Donald Duck.
Donald Duck.
Today, Donald Duck.
Oh, God, I fucking hate Donald Trump.
People who make vines are brilliant. I've never attempted to make one.
Oh, man, I could watch these Donald Trump lines all day, though. Binga banga bonga.
That's good in the Bob Rub video.
Bing, 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 bong, bong.
So tell us about these. Well, you put them on the end of your car, make them go woo woo.
A Bob Rub. What was his
Yeah, they go woo woo.
His wife or girlfriend's name, who they also interviewed, had some weird name.
She comes up out of nowhere. I think she was meeting up with him that day. Cameras were rolling, and she's like, "Okay, let's do it.
I'll do that."
Oh, God. You can't blame Donald Trump for how far he's come because people are voting for him.
I don't think he has anything to do with it because it's beyond blatantly obvious that he's fucking stupid.
Yeah.
He's really dumb.
I mean, you heard about how he basically has no money, right?
Yeah, he's billions of dollars in debt.
Yeah.
Some shit.
His campaign, I think, has $1.3 million, and Hillary has $60-some million. And Donald Trump just recently had to fund his campaign with like $40 million of his own money.
Yeah, he tried to make that a point, like he's self-funding his own campaign, and he's actually not. Like he's getting donations from hundreds of thousands of people.
Which I don't get it. I've met one person in Colorado who's voting for Donald Trump.
We saw that truck today.
Oh, yeah.
Had an American flag, what has been known as the Confederate flag. It's not the Confederate flag.
No. Yeah.
It and then a Make America Great Again Trump 2016 flag. And the Trump one was bigger than the rest. It was enormous.
Yeah.
And I just saw it and I'm like, I hope they're doing that like ironically.
Like, do you think he's doing that as a joke or?
Based off
it's hard
truck,
to say.
No.
Well, there was also, okay, get this. There was another thing I learned on Stephen Colbert.
I got a story for you.
There was another thing I saw on Stephen Colbert where they were asking, like one of the campaign advisors for Donald Trump, like what was going on. And so what the guy said was, Donald Trump's son went up to...
Donald Trump Jr.
Yeah, Donald Trump Jr.
For real,
yeah, I know. Donald Trump
Joffrey.
Jr. went up...
Joffrey.
This is a funny trailer. I can't wait for this. But Donald Trump Jr.
Have you seen its opening, though?
Yeah.
It's so dark.
Donald Trump Jr. went up to this guy and said, how would you like to be the most powerful vice president in history?
What did the guy say?
I don't know. All I know is that he asked him that, and I think that's Mike Pence, if I'm remembering correctly. Like, that is Mike Pence now. I just don't get it. I just don't get it. Because then they said, Donald Trump said that his vice president will be in charge of domestic and foreign affairs.
No!
So then the guy asking the question said, then what will President Trump be doing?
Running Trump Industries.
No, the guy said, making America great again.
Oh.
He'll go house
That was
to
a
house.
real interview.
He'll go house to house with a clipboard. How great is this household? 1 to 10. 1 being not great, 10 being great.
Oh, it's like a 6, 7.
Okay, what can I do to improve that?
Bring in the bulldozers.
Get the fuck out of my yard.
Out of the yard? What is it now? Feels like a 9. Okay.
All right, that's better. That's better.
Checks off that house.
We are making America great again.
That's the worst quote ever. Well, I mean, next to... Here's the thing. Bernie Sanders was kind of cool.
Bernie.
Feel the burn.
Feel the burn was the stupidest fucking thing ever.
Feel the sand in your crotch.
Feel the burn. Well, Feel the burn I think is better than Hillary's. It's just, I'm with her.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck me, man. This election's been ridiculous. I only wanted Bernie Sanders because I'm like, let's have a Jewish president. Do we have a Jewish president yet?
I really liked a lot of the things that Bernie Sanders stood for, and I know people are like, oh, he was a socialist or whatever. It's like, he had a lot of good ideas.
And Donald Trump is a fascist.
Yeah. Donald Trump is America's Hitler.
That speech, man.
After watching that rally, it's like, usually he'll say his dumb stuff, but this was dumb stuff followed up by applause.
Yeah.
Like, a huge audience.
And like the
So
fact
this
that...
is how democracy ends.
I mean, the fact that he
with a
can...
roaring applause.
The fact that he can point at someone and say, look at my African-American over there. Aren't you the best?
See this guy? See it? That's my African-American. And then the guy who just was a part of a horrible racial slur goes...
Yeah.
He's like, I sure am.
I sure am your African-American, Mr. Trump.
That's ridiculous. Someone should make a Vine where it's like, that's my African-American over there, and it cuts to Carlton from Fresh Prince, like, doing the...
Oh, man.
I don't know how he's gotten this far. Like, at first I'm like, well, I think it's a good thing Donald Trump's running, because it'll assure Bernie the victory. Because no one will vote for Donald Trump.
Well, you heard what Donald Trump said, right? He's like, oh, I think that people who were going to vote for Bernie are absolutely going to vote for me. Bernie and I have a lot in common. We're basically the same candidate.
They're the reverse. Minus the fact that they're both males. I mean, they're both different skin color, too. Bernie Sanders is white, and I don't know what the fuck Donald Trump is.
Orange-ish?
Depressed creamsicle.
Depressed creamsicle. I was going to say buffoon apricot.
Jon Stewart said the guy who looks like he's wearing a Donald Trump costume.
Yeah. Did you see Donald Trump Jr. at the rally?
No.
Someone oh my fucking god. Someone who works for Donald Trump must have said, we need you to look more like Donald Trump. Have you seen Donald Trump Jr. elsewhere?
No.
He's white. He's a normal shade of white. At this rally, he was like blazing orange.
And his hair was the same too.
He was like tangerine
It's like
orange.
a shit toupee thing.
And I'm like, who the fuck was in charge of that? He was normal looking before that, and someone's like, you need him to look more like his father. He was really, really orange.
I don't know. God, man. If I had the money, I'd just move to Canada.
No, move to Mexico. There's going to be a giant wall separating you from Donald Trump.
That's true.
Yeah.
You know, it wouldn't surprise me if he's also thinking about just, I don't know, building a wall around all of America's borders.
He starts building it around Canada too. Canada gets all worried.
Canada
Wait, no.
contributes.
No.
They build it taller.
Yeah, they're like, no, this is the anti-Trump wall.
Yeah.
Oh my
Well,
god.
I saw another article where Donald Trump supporters, most of them think he can't do what he says he's going to do, but they don't care.
What's the point then?
That's it. They're just
It seems like right now, both Hillary and Trump are running off of the basis of, well, I'm not him.
yeah.
Or her.
Yeah.
Like, every time, like, on CNN, they've had, like Trump's African American, or that dumb fucking blonde chick who works for Donald Trump. They'll be like, so
that's
what do
his,
you...
that's his wife.
No, it's some correspondent. She's like a media correspondent for Trump's campaign. They've had her on. They'll be like, so many economists have said that Donald Trump's wall idea is not feasible. You know, what do you say to that? And she'll be like, here's the problem. You're just diverting from the fact that Hillary Clinton, blah, 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 servers, blah, 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 Benghazi. And it's all
Okay, but
like,
what
answer
about...
the fucking question!
So what about the wall, though?
And then it cuts to Hillary, and they'll be like, so, about these emails, blah, blah, and they'll be like, you know, Donald Trump, blah, 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 and they'll be like, what the fuck?
Just answer the question.
I shouldn't be voting for one of these people with the basis of, they're not the other guy, so... Well,
Yeah.
It's not that bad.
That's another
Then
Stephen
there's
Colbert
Gary
thing.
Johnson.
I might vote for Gary Johnson.
You know, that was another
He hasn't
Stephen...
broken the law yet.
That was another Stephen Colbert thing where he was showing, like, the campaign slogan where it was, like, Hillary or Trump, and it said, it's just what we have right now, or something like that.
That's all we got.
Yeah, that's all we got.
I thought, like, Ted Cruz versus Bernie would have been a pretty cool election. I thought it would have been hilarious if it was Jeb versus Hillary, you know, Bush versus Clinton.
You know,
That would've been
honestly, out of all the Republican candidates, I was kind of hoping Jeb Bush would get the nomination, because even though he was fucking crazy, he at least could talk about foreign policy.
He had the Latin vote down.
Yeah, like,
Yeah.
He could at least, you know, speak fairly well among people.
He spoke perfect, like, Spanish. That was what was amazing to me.
Yeah.
There was an interview where someone asked him something in Spanish, and I'm like, why would they do that? And then he responds in perfect Spanish, and I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
That's Jeb Bush?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he knows Spanish.
When we did the personality quiz, that's who I was.
Yeah, you were Jeb Bush, and I was Chris Christie.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. It was, which GOP candidate are you? He was fucking orange, too.
Chris Christie?
At the Republican convention. He was like...
Well, you know, he was supposed to get the VP nomination. Like, that's what Donald Trump said. Donald Trump said, if you drop out, I'll make you the VP.
Yeah, he did say that.
And he dropped out, and now look.
He follows through on his promises, that Trump guy.
I have
Sure
a feeling
does.
in that rally, it was like an assembly line going in of just walking through a spray tan thing, and the toupee will just drop from the ceiling on your head.
Everyone walking through is excited about it, too. Like, I can look like Donald Trump.
Wow.
This is the look of success.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow. Should there be a machine that makes you look like Owen Wilson? It just drops the head of a mop on your head and then punches you in the face.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Man, so this podcast has gone all over the place.
Can we write
It's
in
the
Pikachu
trumpeting.
for president?
Yes. Let's
Is he 35 or older?
Well, let's see, 1994?
1996.
1996.
Wasn't he like born in Japan though?
Obama was born in Kenya. We can vote for anyone.
Yeah, Ted Cruz was Canadian.
He's also the Zodiac killer, so fuck
Yeah.
the rules.
Exactly.
I don't know
Donald
why
Trump
that
is
meme
German.
I don't
He was
know-
born in the lab.
Donald Drumpf.
How did that meme catch on? That Ted Cruz is the Zodiac Killer?
Because Donald Trump said he was. That's how it caught on.
That's too fucking funny.
All I'm going to say is that Ted Cruz's dad sure was hanging around John F. Kennedy a little bit before he died.
Ted Cruz is the Zodiac Killer. This game
What
is
is that?
intuitive.
What is that?
I think it's a Pokemon on the camera.
I think it's like a purple bunny shaking its ass at the cameras. And oh, okay.
Pikachu!
It's Pikachu.
Have you heard Pikachu's voice in...
He's like, hey, what do you think you're doing?
Yeah.
It's like, get your hands off of my ears.
It's great in Japanese, too, because it's the same voice. And it's great in the trailer when he's talking to another Pikachu, and he's just like, Hareatsuke! Otsuratata! Pikachu! And you're like, oh, right, that's what a normal Pikachu sounds like. Pikachu. Detective Pikachu looks fucking awesome.
How are we on time? Are we good?
Oh, we're way over.
Oh.
Oh, wow.
Oh, we're not way over. It's not too bad.
Oh, wow.
Oh, no. I wanted the podcast to go a little bit longer, if you guys didn't mind. We should end it.
No, I might.
Yeah.
Okay. Goodbye.
Bye.
Well, so, I mean, this is episode 50.
So,
We're all 50 years old.
We are
50
50 years old. We're old enough to drink now, guys.
I'm only 4 years old, because this is the fourth one I've been on.
Oh.
Yeah.
So you're old enough to only smoke and vote. You'll be old enough to drink in 100 years. I don't know. We should have done an April Fool's podcast if we could have held up to this, where for 1 hour we go, wah, 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 for an hour.
We need a lot of water, I think.
I think so.
Wah wah. Wah wah. Wah wah. Wah wah. Wah wah.
Stupid. So the thing is, the Gropozy Podcast is taking a break after episode 50. I don't know why I'm even saying that. We have about 5 views per video.
Well, you know, it's,
Or loyal.
you gotta take care of your fan
Loyal
base.
hounds.
I'm one of your 5 viewers.
Thank you.
I'm not.
I'm one as well. So there's 2 other people. Thank you. Thank you to both of you. I think I actually count as 2 views because I have the Gropozy channel, which will count as a view when I edit the video. And then there's my personal channel.
Well, you know, then
So that one other guy, thank you.
Then there's mine, lowcashproductions69@gmail.com. Because there's Low Cash Productions, plug.
You can plug that.
And I have one other YouTube channel that I use for just myself.
Do you watch Gropozy stuff
Yeah.
on that channel? So this is the 5 views right
These
here.
are the 5
Yeah.
right here.
Oh my
But you
fucking
do
God.
have 9 subscribers.
I do. And here's the thing. On SoundCloud, the podcast has actually been growing in popularity. We keep fluctuating in followers, which isn't technically a good thing, I think. We want constant followers who stick around for a while.
Yeah.
But I honestly think they're bots, like that you follow back kind
Oh.
of crap.
Mm.
But randomly, every now and then, one podcast on SoundCloud will get 100 listens. And the next will get 2, and then 3, and then 5, and then 2, and then
I
3.
think there's a lot of
and then
people.
100.
I
and
think,
it's-
yeah, you know, I think there's a lot of people on iTunes and on, you know, Android or Google Play or whatever. I think there are a lot of people who just go like, they're scrolling through and they're like, I don't want to listen to Rooster Teeth. I don't want to listen to, you know, Louis C.K. or Stone Cold or whatever. They're just like, I don't know. Let's just hit up and coming and just see what comes on. It's just kind of like shuffles the podcast.
Gropozy was there for a week.
Yeah, you know,
I haven't checked how many views we have on iTunes. I should probably check that.
you probably should. Yeah.
Every time I go to podcasts on iTunes, I do it with the intent of, I'm going to check our statistics and see how we're doing. And then I always go, I didn't know so-and-so had a podcast. Click. And I'm always listening to other people's podcasts going, fuck, we suck.
Does Alice Cooper still do his podcast?
No, he's been done a while.
Oh man, because you listened to that pretty religiously for a while.
I listened to that like crazy. That was a great podcast. Alice Cooper was just such a, like, in-tune person. Like, he knew perfectly what to say. There's, that one podcast, what's his name, that did, guy's absolutely fucking funny. I can't remember his name. He would do all the Batman sketches, the Batman, like,
Oh,
stupid
yeah.
Batman. Damn, what's that guy's name? He was, with College Humor for a little bit.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about. I just can't remember his name either.
God, he's fucking funny, though. I found out he has a podcast. It's absolutely hilarious, too. Oh, his name of the podcast. Since he is a sponsor, you have to send us money now, if that's how that works.
Oh?
is called "You Went Too Far." It's pretty funny. Let me
it says podcast related to the Gropozy podcast.
What's it come up with?
Revisionist History by Malcolm Gladwell. This American Life.
That's a good one.
Stuff You Should Know. Case File, True Crime.
What? True crime.
Freakonomics Radio.
What the?
Wow.
Don Carlin's Hardcore History. Stuff You Missed in History Class.
What? How?
Criminal. That's all it says. That's all it says.
There isn't a Donald Trump podcast?
This is my favorite one so far. The Way I Heard It with Mike Rowe.
I guess that's not the name of this podcast. I can't fucking find it.
Well,
now he can't send us money.
Well, I am now subscribed to the Gropozy Podcast.
I was subscribed and I went to my phone. A podcast you definitely have to check out, and it's short, which is nice. The biggest problem with podcasts is they're usually super long.
What was that? That was my phone. Okay, here's the fine how do you do for the first fucking podcast.
That's podcast number 1.
Yeah,
that was 50 years ago.
That's 2 hours.
Actually, 51 because we skipped a week.
That's 2 hours and 12 minutes.
Correct.
Yeah.
We skipped 1 week once. I was fucking livid.
Yeah.
I was seriously
So
upset. Like it's over now. It's over.
Our one listener.
Which one's that?
That was episode 1. It says prepare yourselves. Oh, this says the Three Brothers Podcast has arrived. Episode 1 covers everything from movies, TV, and all sorts of other consumerist fun. Don't forget to check out the other Gropozy products on gropozy.tumblr.com, at Gropozy on Twiddler. That's
Twiddler?
At Twiddler.
I love Twizzlers.
That's Gropozy at GROPOZY. And fun videos at https://www.youtube.com/channel/UCQR4.
For whatever dumb reason, I couldn't get YouTube's link to just be
YouTube.
Yeah, the rest were just like Tumblr, Twitter, and then
YouTube.
Twitter. YouTube's was just like this long URL, and there's options to add a link, and you can make the link just say blah 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 whatever,
Mm-hmm.
and it'll be a link somewhere else, and YouTube won't fucking work.
Oh, I have an idea. So before we close out, how about I go through all of these podcasts here, and I'll read your descriptions, and then we'll close that way.
That's 49 descriptions you're going to read.
So I just read the 49. This is 48. Such shit fell, Nicholas.
Oh.
Moon Unit Tit Wrangler, Ben. Captain Stabbin, Dominic. Are all back for number 5.
Why does that say 48? That's the second one.
It says the Three Brothers Podcast, episode 5.
I don't even fucking know.
It says, we're off about new movies, science, and racism. It's kind of like this one.
Yeah.
And we're pretty clueless on about half of it. Always purely professional on the Three Brothers Podcast.
There's not a lot
Don't
of
forget to like, and don't forget to follow us on Twitter at Gropozy. Enjoy. This one.
I pulled my...
podcast, and let's introduce ourselves with names that we have all...
For the love of God, don't do the intros. Like, I'm actually cringing.
I hate listening to myself.
It's not the voices, it's just the professionalism.
Benjamin, Dominic, and Nicholas are back for episode 6 of the Three Brothers Podcast. We discuss racism, superhero... I'm starting to see a flow of racism.
We're racist.
Racism, superheroes, and copyright issues on YouTube. If you, listeners, who we love and appreciate, enjoy the podcast, then don't forget to follow us on SoundCloud, Tumblr, and Twitter.
I'm cringing a little bit.
Oh, don't cringe. It's okay. Let's see.
Don't play them, seriously.
It pops up. I have to press it, and then it brings it up, and I hit pause.
It's always your voice that's going to be first.
Listen to the bumbling...
You don't ever fucking talk.
What?
Listen
Sorry,
to the bumbling brothers
Have we started?
as Benjamin, Dominic, and Nicholas go on about movies, history, and millionaires. All the fun you were looking for on the internet in the first place.
What? Why?
Are you sucking your thumb? What?
Who the fuck sent you?
He sent me a download link for an image. He doesn't know how to phone.
He doesn't know
I thought
how to
the image
follow.
was that, and it's supposed to look like something slowly downloading, and it's not.
He's not that clever.
Join the three brothers, Dominic, Benjamin, and Nicholas, as they jump further into the rabbit hole of politics, movies, and conspiracy.
Racism wasn't in that one.
There's
All
even
right.
a great debate in this episode. A great debate. Not a good one.
Great.
A great.
I can only guess
Great
what that
baiting.
was.
Your favorite three brothers return. No, not the Baldwins. Dominic, Nicholas, and Ben. They're all here. That was a good joke.
What I don't like is some won't have descriptions, because some days I'm just too fucking busy. But some of them won't have a description, so...
No, not the Baldwins. Dominic, Nicholas, and Ben are all here, and they're fucking around and talking out their ass again. Fantastical tales of wealth, loss, octopuses, and Benedict Cumberbatch crawling around like a loon.
Oh my god, we just talk about the same thing. It's like a really sad, pathetic,
It's because each week we
The
forget.
three brothers are back again to stumble over their own words and put their feet in their mouth. Gross. We tackle serious issues like racism, climate change, and the name of that one actor from that one movie.
Benedict Cumberbatch.
Probably.
Benedict Cumberbatch. Let's see. Here's number 11. The Three Brothers Podcast, episode 11.
Do you remember last podcast when I promised you I was going to try really hard to get Tommy Lee Jones on the podcast?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't try.
Oh.
I did try really hard to get a hold of
I didn't
Suntory.
try.
Didn't fucking work. When you hit translate, it turns out some of that Japanese that's on Suntory's page is in the form of an image, not actual Japanese
Oh.
text.
Oh.
So it won't translate it, and I almost downloaded some Suntory game that would cost money. They have games on their coffee website.
So, here's number 12. Your favorite Three Brothers return once again. Episode 12 of the Three Brothers Podcast is a very special episode because it's our first video podcast. Before you get your hopes up, you cannot watch the video version of it on SoundCloud. It will be going up the day after the audio upload.
So I should probably fix that, because that was not a video podcast.
You will notice I did some of these descriptions.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. You don't remember? It was probably when you had...
Here's,
Work or something.
Here's probably.
Here's episode 13. Oh my god, do you remember Halloween? We didn't. A super late Halloween episode of the Three Brothers Podcast is here. Enjoy. We talk about robots, science fiction, Halloween, and who cares? You don't even listen to this show.
I remember back then I was actually trying to theme each episode rather than just going with it, and it actually made it really awkward because I'd be like, okay, Halloween. So Halloween, here's some Halloween stuff. And it was just like, bad.
The Three Brothers are back in episode 14 of our podcast.
I feel like I'm getting winded writing the descriptions.
We
Back
discuss,
again.
we discuss new TV series, old people, and we break down some of the deeper meanings of childhood cartoons.
We do
That
that
was
too
Ed, Ed,
often.
and Eddie.
We do that too often. Yeah, Ed and Eddie's allegedly about the 7 layers of hell or some shit.
I did
I'm
hear
pretty
about
sure
that.
we rehashed that in several other episodes.
Okay. The Three Brothers Podcast, episode 15. The Three Brothers are back in episode 15 of the podcast. This time we talk about the future of Gropozy, Danny DeVito, and absolute bullshit. Listen and enjoy, you weak husks of society. You know, so these are pretty good, actually. This is the Three Bros, but you already knew that. Tell us about you on Twitter. Follow us at Gropozy. Anyway, enjoy this silly podcast as you dwell on the meaning of life. Hashtag Thunderclapjack.
That was the name you gave me.
Yeah, I love that name.
Clapjack.
Your
Is
favorite...
that a sexual thing? You're like, you're just Thunderclapjack.
I'm starting
That's
to
it.
see a common string of the beginning of the podcast, which
Yeah.
are, your favorite brothers are back. And, surprise, surprise, they still don't know what they're talking about. Touching down on books, movies, and shaved genitals. The brothers make a whale of a time out of this hour. Hashtag Juan Juan.
Oh yeah, that's the name you gave me. Juan.
Oh, yeah.
As in Juan, but you said...
Number Juan.
Number Juan Juan. The Three Brothers Podcast are biggity bloggity back. Talking the walk but failing Or talking the walk, but failing to walk the talk. We venture into the cold, dark realms of the Corey Verkin? I can't read that. What is that one? Corey Brecken?
What the fuck is that?
I don't know.
It says, we venture into the cold, dark realms of the Corey Brecken, where the hag is renewed and winter begins again. Let bitter snow...
What the fuck?
Let bitter snow and icy cold fill the realm. Happy holidays. Seriously, enjoy the podcast.
What the fuck is wrong with me?
What is Corey Brecken?
Oh, that's an ancient Icelandic Bible, basically.
Oh.
Yeah,
Wow.
I remember. You should see the YouTube poop descriptions.
Oh no.
Okay, episode 19. Gaming, technology, and Sharia law executions. The three brothers, 2 right now, return again. This week was a bit late, and next week will be a bit late as well. But it's the same nonsense nonetheless. Bring on the booze and prep your anus for the only podcast featuring real-life humans and not autonomous AI machines. Thanks, Shia LaBeouf.
Prep your anus. I just ended with thanks, Shia LaBeouf.
Thanks, Shia LaBeouf.
What the fuck?
Only 2 brothers this week, but it's still the Three Brothers Podcast Christmas edition. ... Sort
I
of.
see a trend.
Enjoy this episode of everybody's favorite podcast. Learn about the bizarre and cruel origins of America's sweetheart Nick Fell. Find out how a car runs on ranch dressing. And hold your breathe for the endless poop stories.
Hold your breath.
You spelled breath wrong.
Well, I spelled Corey Brecken correctly, but I can't fucking spell breath. A breathe of fresh air.
Oh, I like this one. It's the Christmas special. No podcast this week.
Wasn't the last 3 Christmas?
No podcast this week. Instead, enjoy a little Christmas poem written by Dominic himself.
Yeah, I wrote
That's only a minute long. Should we listen to it?
No.
No.
Should we?
No. It was a poem about how a Muslim family wasn't allowed to go to
There's not gonna be a
Disneyland.
new episode of the Three Brothers Podcast this week because of the holidays. So I hope you enjoy your holidays. I hope you have a good Christmas and you enjoy your New Year's.
And the Three Brothers are back in the next Three Brothers Podcast.
Yeah.
You know, it's not easy to do this, though. This is something you have done for 50 weeks.
Yeah, but I mean, other podcasters have done it for 300.
But how many podcasts pop up, do it for a month, and then they're done? You know, because, a lot. Looking for something to hashtag? Try hashtag the Three Bros Podcast. Now, there's a hashtag that'll get you laid. This week... This week, Nicholas and Dominic talk about the wonderful world of Star Wars. But don't worry, no spoilers. If you like dewbacks, then you'll love this podcast.
Dewback!
Oh god, that one.
You made a joke about how George Lucas screams, "More dewbacks!" and then money prints out of his fat rolls.
That's the entire podcast.
Ladies and gentlemen, hold on to your butts, because in this week's Three Brothers Podcast,
Samuel L. Jackson.
we introduce our very first guest. We discuss Star Wars lore, Game of Thrones, Lou Ferrigno, and even more Star Wars lore. This is an hour of 14 minutes. Oh, this is an hour and 14 minutes you can't miss a single second of. That was the first one I was on, was episode 22.
22.
Wow.
Wow. Yeah, that's kind of cool.
23 technically if you count the Christmas episode.
No one does. It's like Star
2
Wars.
of the 3 brothers are back, but we all sound the same, so that doesn't matter.
I think, was that my description?
I don't
Could have
know.
been.
In this week's
Sounds like
episode
you.
of the Three Bros Podcast, we discuss grim events that are occurring around the world, including some sad celebrity deaths. If you enjoy the podcast, please be sure to follow us on Twitter.
It's funny hearing yourself from the past and laughing at your own joke going, that was really clever.
Yeah, you have really good descriptions.
Prepare your anus. Now that's a hashtag that'll get you laid.
Laid.
The Three Brothers return for another week to fill you in on recent news. Stuck inside because of the frigid weather? Don't worry, just snuggle up with the Three Brothers Podcast. and listen to enlightening news about terrorism, celebrity deaths, and racism.
Fucking racism.
There's a lot of racism.
Oh.
Two out of three of your three most celebrated brothers returns for another week of social commentary. Intriguing information like never before heard before. Okay. Knowledge from the four corners of the earth. Tales from beyond space and time. The Three Brothers Podcast is here for you. Thanks for listening.
Tales from beyond space and time. Sounds like David Bowie wrote that one. Tales from beyond space and time.
2 of 3 of your favorite brothers return once more. Thank you for joining us on this momentous Super Bowl themed podcast. This week, we talk about Peyton Manning and how we made Cam Newton cry.
That was the first podcast on YouTube. It wasn't video.
I remember that.
I started
remember
uploading
thumbnail.
them even though they weren't video and adding pictures. That took for fucking effort, so I stopped doing that.
Happy President's Day. Thank you very much for joining us for another week. Your favorite brothers return once more with games, history, and indulging conversations about YouTubers.
That one was 99% Donald Trump.
The Three Brothers Podcast gonna give it to you, and it's oh so good. I know you've been salivating for a new episode of the highly celebrated Three Bros Podcast, and now here it is. This week we talk about a wide range of important things, like the new Deadpool movie, Disneyland, Kim Jong-un, and the famous theremin. Look it up.
Oh, the
theremin.
instrument.
Theremin.
Instrument. I think we've been doing a good job of not talking about Kim Jong-un as much as we used to.
Well, because Donald Trump is here.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Kim Jong-un too.
Guess who's back? Or stop guessing and just tune in. Your favorite brothers have returned for yet another episode, and we're here to celebrate Leap Day and Leo's big win. Congratulations, Leo. We love you with every fiber of our being. Please have our babies.
I didn't even put his full name, I just said Leo.
Oh, you're like, congratulations, Leo.
He won!
There it
He
is.
won.
A new podcast, that is. This week we feature special guest Gabe of the celebrated Low Cash Productions. You should listen to their podcast, too. It was recently 303 Day in Colorado, which is like Christmas for hill people. So join us for yet another exciting podcast filled with grandeur, insults, and the very face of evil itself. So I was on 22 and 30. That was the Colorado episode. Let's see. Oh, the South by Southwest episode.
Oh,
Guess
that's
who's
the one
back?
where we shat on
Back
music.
again.
Yeah.
We're back. Tell your friends. Or don't. We're here to talk about some of the most relevant and irrelevant topics of the millennial age, ranting about new movies, politics, and even something known as South by Southwest.
Talk about a lame millennial event. They're just like, hey, do you hate your parents? Come on down to South by Southwest. Enjoy some music from some acoustic guitarists who are almost good. And new things in gaming. Only independent gaming. No big corporations here.
I thought you were going to flick it open.
No.
No big corporations here. Episode 32, the Lincoln Logs episode.
The
Oh.
Lincoln Log stayed on the table for 20 episodes after that.
Yeah.
We return a king. Not really, of course. Kings have wealth and power, but we're still here to entertain you. This week, we are here to talk about all of the most important world's issues, like Popeye, Pixar, and Lincoln Logs. We play with our wood, too. If that's something you want to see, then be sure to watch the podcast on YouTube.
Play with our wood, too.
The Easter episode. We are here. We are dear or steer. Get used to it. Hello, and welcome back to your favorite podcast with your favorite brothers. This week, we play a fantastic game of Chubby Bunny. You can watch on our YouTube channel.
That was the worst thing we've ever done.
That's kind of gross.
It was really gross.
I don't like marshmallows in the first place.
I really hate them now.
So here's the April Fool's episode. The Three Bros Podcast is back, and we gon' give it to you. This
Who
week,
did that?
Twice.
This week, your favorite whiny gentlemen return. We talk about horrible millennial music, bad superhero movies, and some news from April 1st. If you like our podcast, Chickadee, check out... Oh, if you like our podcast, chickadee, check out the video version on Yiggity YouTube.
Is that the first one? Is that the one where you did the game with the fake music lyrics? No, that's the one where we complained about Diplo a lot, though.
Yeah.
Hello, how are you? Anyway, we're here again. The Three Bros Podcast returns once more for another astonishing week. The audio does glitch a little about 15 minutes in, so be aware that it doesn't sound great. But that aside, we're here to talk about Superman, Star Wars, and Game of Thrones. We're not nerds at all.
We stopped complaining about
If
that.
you like the podcast Chickadee, check out the video version on Yiggity YouTube.
Oh, God.
How many times do I do that?
I don't know.
You're just copy and pasting.
Maybe.
We're back again for the 36th fucking episode of the Three Bros Podcast. Listen in excitement as the episode unfurls to reveal blunders, flubs, gwabs, and other non-words. Don't forget to show some love and follow the podcast. It's totally free. If you like the podcast, chickadee, check out the video version on Yiggity YouTube.
Fuck me.
The Gropozy Podcast is here, and we're going to fill you with fun. Thanks for joining us this fantastic late April. Don't forget to pop over to YouTube for the video version. We're also on iTunes now. Woot woot.
Oh,
if you like the podcast, chickadee, check out the video version on Yiggity
God
YouTube.
damn it.
I guess that was a thing for a while, huh?
Fill you with fun.
The Gropozy Podcast, episode 38, the Batman episode.
That's
Just
it.
the Batman episode.
That's it. It's everybody's favorite podcast returning again. This podcast, we talk about the implications that modern-day music has on the young millennial generation. We even have a game to go along with it. If you like the podcast, chickadee, check out the video version on Yiggity YouTube.
Fuck. That was one of the funnest games we ever played.
I like that.
Simply because of those Rihanna lyrics. What was it? Yeah, boy, I want you to homicide it or something.
Yeah.
Rihanna's interesting.
The lyrics we came up with were better.
Yours was great.
Video games, movies, and the Vietnam War. This podcast has it all. Your favorite podcast is back once again, here to talk about our own experiences and lack thereof. We never really don't know what we're doing, but this episode is especially scatterbrained, but nonetheless entertaining.
The script is pretty scattered. We never don't know what we're doing. What?
Podcast, as if that could even be a question. Of course podcast. I podcast, you podcast, everyone podcasts. Join your favorite two fools once again for a podcast of horror, conspiracy, and shitting on Max Landis. Because why not?
We shat on Max Landis hard.
It's a fun-filled hour with us, and there's also a porno trivia game. Who could resist?
That's when I couldn't come up with a game, so I'm like, I'm going to read you a list of porno titles, and you need to tell me if they're real or fake. And they were all real. They were just horrible, dumb porn names.
I don't even remember that.
It was the last second.
It's a podcast. Is it your favorite podcast? It should be. Hello, and welcome back to the Gropozy Podcast, where we cover all the world's most interested topics. Today, we discuss Captain America, Civil War, possibly the best movie ever, nature and its prospects, and the very well put quotes of musicians and politicians.
No racism.
No
We're doing
racism,
good.
yeah,
We're doing
yeah.
good. I mean, that title did have Civil War in it.
There's a
If
little
you like
racism.
your orange juice with a side of nasty,
Oh, God.
you'll enjoy this special episode of the Gropozy Podcast. Typically, when we play fun little games on the podcast, they last about 10 minutes. But when we made the choice to drink disgusting orange juice, it seemed to last the entire episode. OJ and Friends, enjoy.
The only reason I came up with OJ and Friends is because the title sounds absolutely hilarious, considering OJ Simpson.
Yeah.
But then I'm like, it has to be a thing now. So OJ and Friends was a thing we did. What episode was that?
That was 43.
So
I think one of the best.
So 84. When the podcast comes back, we'll do OJ and Friends 2, and regret it probably twice as much.
We're back again. Join your most favorite two people. No, not your parents. as we discuss weird videos on the internet, creepy towns in Colorado, and our
Aguilar.
favorite video game glitches. It's a fantastic dream ride that will take a lot of drugs to get off. Thanks for listening, even if you
Dream
didn't
ride.
enjoy it.
Fantastical dream ride.
The most excellent and most truly radical podcast is back once more, dudes. The Gropozy Podcast returns for episode 45 this week, where we get to know our hosts even better through personality quizzes. We also discuss recent events, E3, and new TV shows.
The personality quizzes were pretty fun.
Yeah.
So there's a lot less racism going on now.
You get into the ones where I started putting an intro. I love that intro.
Your favorite hosts are back with another podcast. In this episode, we talk about Game of Thrones, Donald Trump, and naked war leaders. So yeah, it's pretty much the usual.
General butt naked.
General butt naked.
He's pretty
General
awesome.
butt
My
naked.
favorite.
He had demons in his head, so he fought a war butt naked. But it's okay now, because now he's a priest.
You literally
Your most favorite hosts return for the 47th time with another fantastic episode about, well, it's a blur for us. Anyway, thanks so much for everyone watching the podcast, and thank you very much for your continued support.
I'm pretty sure you were writing the description for that one, and you're like, what did we talk about?
I'm like, I could look it up, but I don't want to listen to this. I'm glad that intro's funny.
The Gropozy Podcast, episode 48, the news episode.
I told you I missed some descriptions.
That's a good intro. It's that time yet again. Another fantastic episode of the Fantastic Podcast fantastically returns to your computer screen. What's that? No, don't go outside and play. Stay inside and listen to us talk about the new Ghostbusters, Ownage Pranks, and Owen Wilson. This episode has a very special guest and sponsor, Gabe from Bogart's Foxhole. Bogart's Foxhole is a northern Colorado-based business that buys and sells arcade machines. If you're a fan of gaming at its best, check out Bogart's Foxhole.
Just by reading the description, it was now sponsored twice.
And that's the most recent one.
That was 49.
That was 49. Wow.
Yeah, that's cool looking.
Yeah.
hell it's my year before it was too.
That's a good intro. So yeah, this is the fourth time you've been on. You are 4 years old.
I am 4 years old. And I have to say, I love how the Gropozy Podcast is under society and culture.
That's the best category I could have picked. Picking it on SoundCloud. SoundCloud recently added more adjustments you can make, and it's under entertainment now. I had the option of putting it under comedy, but I'm like, not that funny. Yep. Not that funny.
What?
What? So that was episode 50. I don't know what happens after this. We now dive into the great unknown. And you'll never see us again. Should I just upload shit that WebDriver Torso uploads from here on out? Have you seen them?
You should start uploading old Alice Cooper episodes.
I don't think that'd be like...
Just do that.
What's up, Alice Cooper here.
Yeah.
What if I just upload other people's podcasts played in reverse?
Ooh. Or just upload these played in reverse.
That's 100 episodes right there.
Starting from this one, working back to the very first one.
Word for word, repeat someone else's podcast.
Yeah. Listen to BBC News podcast and just repeat it into yours.
Oh, God. You know who just started a podcast?
No.
Mr. Skin.
Who?
Mr. Skin, the celebrity website, they show you all the nude scenes from movies and TV shows.
Nope.
They've been around for 10 years.
I guess I've just been living under a rock.
Or you just... how do you not know about Mr. Skin?
Or you're not lonely.
When you
Or
want,
you're not lonely.
When you want to see Halle Berry's naked boobs, Mr. Skin. We should get that guy. Have you? Oh my fucking god! The Mr. Skin puns like make you want to kill yourself. Because every video, like they do video updates, and they'll like the Mr. Skin guy, the guy who is Mr. Skin, he makes fucking puns every single video, and they're just like. They make you like facepalm, and you're just like,
I
oh my
love puns.
fucking god. I can't even give an example. They're just horrible, but
Halle Berry, very good to meet you.
just shit like that. Oh my god, she'll be giving you a Halle Berry, like just shit like that. It, like sometimes it doesn't make sense, and it's just awful. Okay. Well, read us out, bitch.
I actually can't because I have no internet.
Are you serious?
Yeah, it's not connected, and I don't have yours.
Well, you can't read us out.
I
The podcast
was-
isn't over.
I was kind of prepared for the Donald Trump's speech. Apart from that, it was
Oh,
really
you were
racist.
gonna. Do you remember any of it?
apart from Donald
No.
Trump's speech?
Something like "Get the Muslims out."
Get the Muslims out. Ooh, let the Muslims out.
Let's see.
Ooh, I know something appropriate.
I can just read the back of a book again.
No, don't do that. You keep
Instruction manual.
it- Hang on, I have a really good one.
So Saddam Hussein was a bad guy, right?
I love this
Right.
quote.
But you know what he did really well?
You know the second after he said that, his campaign manager's like, you know, Saddam Hussein was a real bad guy, his campaign manager, like,
Yeah.
but you know what he did real well? Guys, stop it. No, turn off those lights.
No, get those lights off.
Oh.
What the fuck?
Uh-oh, what are you getting?
Is it a quote I can read?
I wanted you to read Karl Marx's last words
Oh,
as a joke, but I think someone uploaded a joke from Mirror UK. They put Karl Marx's last words, and then they put a picture of Steve Irwin, and then they put a quote from Michael Rosen.
what? What's it say?
Go on, get out! They put something about the Skyfoogle.
The Skyfoogle?
Go on, get out.
And it's a picture of Steve Irwin.
Why?
I don't know who the fuck did
I
that.
can just read the quote.
So Karl Marx's actual last words were, last words are for people who didn't say enough. And I thought that would be appropriate. But now I'm just gonna look up a Michael Rosen.
Go on, get out.
Really good.
Really good.
Really.
Harry Bow.
Nuts.
Oh, hey,
Harry Bow was a friend of mine.
What if both of you choose one of your favorite poems by him, and that's how you close out?
By Michael Rosen?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll find one.
I don't know any, and I can't find them.
Oh yeah, you only
let's
look up the
see.
YouTube poops of him. You don't know any of his real.
Yeah, I don't. I have... This
Hand
site can't
on
be
your heart
reached.
to the rhythm and sauce.
Stop.
Hand on your girlfriend's belly. Feel
Feel
the rhythm of the
baby.
baby.
What am I
Oh
gonna do?
no!
Woo.
What am I gonna do?
What am I gonna do? Okay, I'm gonna read you, since I have internet, I'm gonna read you the names of his poems, and you tell me the ones that you want to listen to. I'm gonna go through all of them, okay? There's not many.
Alright.
Once, Attack, Pelicans, Where Broccoli Comes From,
What
The One You Stop Is You, Introduction Song, The Computer Explains How the Boy Dealt with a Very Bad Cold,
the fuck?
The Child Who Was Wild,
Ooh.
The Dangerous Raisin, But My Daughter Elise Is Helpful, Air,
Ah,
Alligator Problem,
Is Michael Rosen
Angry, The
angry.
Balloon, Jack 1,
insane? The balloon.
Jack 2,
Jack 2.
Plastic Bag Tree, The Difference, The Lift, The Seagulls Think We Live at the Seaside, These Are the Hands, They Said I say, today/one day, untitled, words are ours, you gotta move it.
Well, naturally I have to go with pelicans, although angry also sounded phenomenal.
So, angry or pelicans? Because remember,
I'll go pelicans.
Okay.
I wish it were angry pelicans.
because the way you have to read it like him now.
Yeah?
Yeah, so there you go. So this is Pelicans by Michael Rosen.
Pelicans.
Pelicans. My mum told me...
It sounds too elegant.
My mum told me that when I was 2, she took me to St. James Park to see the pelicans.
Pelicans.
Pelicans. I looked in the books at pelicans. Great big pelicans! With beaks like shopping bags. She said, one day we'll go back to St. James Park to see the pelicans.
The pelican.
I said, yes, let's!
Yes, let's!
She told me that when I was 3, when I was 4, when I was 5, when I was 6, when I was 7, when I was 8, when I was 9, when I was 10. But we never did. We never went back to St. James Park to see the pelicans.
The pelicans.
The Pelicans.
60 years later, I went on my own.
What a cut. Just 60 years later, I went by myself.
I went on my own to see St. James Park's to see the pelicans.
Pelicans.
The Pelicans.
I walked across the grass over to the water. I so wanted to see the pelicans.
Pelicans.
The Pelicans.
I looked, but there were none. No pelicans.
The pelicans.
The Pelicans.
So like Jesse Eisenberg.
So I walked along
Pelicans.
by the side of the water, and I thought of me being 2 years old, and my mother being 30 years old, and how I must have looked at the pelicans.
The pelicans.
The Pelicans.
And I carried on walking. I walked over a little bridge, and I looked out across the water, and
And?
there was a pelican. And another.
And another.
And another.
And another.
And another one.
Another one.
And so
Small.
they were there. The pelicans.
The pelicans.
The Pelicans.
Standing with their beaks like shopping bags. What? And I thought of me being 2 years old, and my mother being 30 years old, and the pelicans
The pelicans.
The Pelicans.
being there and not being there, and then being there after all. The pelicans!
The pelicans.
The Pelicans.
What the fuck?
This guy's a genius. So, which one did you want to read?
Air.
Yeah,
Yeah, give these people air.
come on, you got what you wanted.
Oh, you chose a great one because you have to make sound effects. I'm just going to read the first line and the rest is going to go to you. The yawn in the morning, filling your mouth with no one to start you yawning. Air in my hair, air in the air. There you go. There you go. I think you know what I mean. Riddle diddle.
Riddle diddle fiddle do.
Fiddle diddle fiddle diddle.
A swing in the playground, swinging with no one on the swing to swing it. Air in my hair, air in the air. The balloon with its skin blown up tight, with no one blowing to tighten the skin. Air in my hair, air in the air. The open window where the cool blows in, with no one to blow the cool. Air in my hair, air in the air. The flame on the candle, flaming, with no one to fan the flames. Air in my hair, air in the air. The sleepers breathing all night long, with only sleep to make them breathe.
That is actually just a really long F. Okay.
Is that how we end the podcast?
I was going to do where broccoli comes from.
Does this one have sound effects?
No.
Too bad.
Not many people know that broccoli grows in the armpits of very big green men who live in the forest, and brave broccoli cutters go deep into the forest and they creep up on the very big green men.
It's starting to sound like Steve Irwin.
They wait for the very big green men to fall asleep. And the broccoli cutters get out their great big broccoli razors and they shave the armpits of the very big green men. And that's where broccoli comes from. Not many people know that. Just thought I'd let you know.
Just thought I'd let you know.
Just telling you.
Just thought I'd let you know.
Riddle diddle diddle.
Riddle diddle diddle diddle.
I said, Dad.
Yes?
Yes?
It's
You did so lovely. And he says, excuse me.
Excuse me? And then he said, "Abba-sibba-sibba-sibba."
bendy,
Bendy, bendy.
And then the teacher started doing things. Magic things. With her mouth.
You should see if you can get him on the podcast.
Huh.
He's not doing anything.
He likes the YouTube boobs.
I just found a phone number. Should I call that number?
What website is it on? FamousRelationships.com?
We'll give it a call.
You got a speakerphone. You're calling it an insurance agency?
Oh. Pardon me, I found this phone number under contact info for Tommy Lee Jones agents. Is that correct? Yeah, that would be fantastic. Give me 1 second. His agent's name was on the website I was just on, so just give me 1 quick sec. Agent's name is William Morris. That's the... I'm stupid. That's the agency. I just read the first thing I saw. I'm sorry about that. Agent's name is Michael Cooper. Yes, ma'am. How about Jim Wyatt? W-I-A-T-T. W-I is in India. That's interesting. Those are the only 2 names that come up under agents. Yes, ma'am. Neither Michael Cooper, Jim White, none of those are showing up. Oh, jeez. Okay. Sorry about that. That's probably all I needed. Okay, that would be fantastic. Thank you very much. Goodbye. Well, I told you...
Riddle diddle diddle.
I told you I was trying to get Tommy Lee Jones on the podcast, and I tried.
You know, I was just...
Shame.
Shame.
Confess. Confess. Secrets. Repentance. After your atonement. Naked.
Secrets. That's about the only app that'll work right now.
Shame.
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 I like how our joke for that woman is that she has a super low voice, and she totally doesn't.
Yeah.
But when that episode came on, we just kept going, shame.
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 Confess.
Confess.
Stand before the 7.
Stand.
Now the different one.
Shame.
Is there a hold the door app?
Shame. Shame.
Hold the door! That's a different one.
Shame. Shame.
That's the Strictly Shame app. Yeah, still no internet.
Should the podcast be over now?
Shame.
What podcast?
Yeah, we've been podcasting a while. I'm hungry. Okay, thank you for joining us. Subscribe and follow all that.
Shame.
Podcast out.
Shame. Shame.
Oh, no, podcast isn't out. Mouse
Shame.
isn't working. And then I'm gonna say-
Shame. Shame.
Wait, hold on.
What?
Shame. 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 Shame.